Space, the final frontier. This is a review show for Star Trek The Next Generation. Its continuing mission to explore interesting plot points, to seek out goofs and continuity errors, to boldly go where no other TNG review show has gone before. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the TNG review show. Whip, whip. We're back, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. And welcome to the TNG review show. Oh, Tavi, I think you've got this sound.
Tab, can you mute your background there?
There we go, that's better. Good evening, everyone. It is TNG Review Show. We are back with another episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that we are consigning to our vault. I am joined this evening by my co-hosts, Mazza Bob.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Lieutenant Commander Tavikins Turner. Good evening. And our very own Chief Sean O'Brien. How you doing, Chief?
How we doing?
Howdy doody. Howdy doody. As you can see from our somewhat beautiful faces that Mazza Bob is still sunning herself on the planet Risa. And yes, how's it going on the planet today, Maz?
Oh yeah, it's going amazing. We saw some phosphorescent lagoon one night and climbed up some waterfalls, and this morning Luda went water skiing for the first time. He got straight up. They were like, "Is this really his first time?" Yeah, it's very good fun.
Oh, I bet he loved it.
He did, yeah. He's going again in a minute.
Is he?
He tracked the guy down. He's like, "Can you take me again?" Yeah, I loved it.
Have you got a whole gun yet?
No, I don't, unfortunately. Shame.
You know, proudly display your Horgan between the two of you, right beside the swimming pool.
Yeah. Do not have one. Sorry.
Oh.
Fail. Super fail.
Super.
I'll join you for a few minutes.
Are you not keeping tomorrow?
I'm feeling, I feel like...
Hot.
it's curing my seasonal, depression. So that's nice. That's nice. Good afternoon or good evening, Tavikins. How you doing? How's your week going?
All right. It's going.
Good.
It's relaxing. Happy to be here.
That's good. That's good. And Chief Sean, how you doing? How's your week?
Oh, it's a great week. On Monday, I got confirmed I wasn't getting a job. On Tuesday, I went to the dentist. And on Wednesday, I found out I had corona. So I'm having a cracker of a week. But,
Cracking.
Okay, that's my 3. So hopefully we're all good now.
Hopefully it's all on the up from there. Yeah.
Well, it can't be any much worse. Oh, what a start to a week.
From last week, I was ill last week, which that turned out to be COVID as well, the coronavirus, and now it's spread to the rest of the family. So, Smiler Rainbow's not been very well, but we're soldiering
Big love
on.
to everybody.
Yeah, thanks,
Get well
Maz.
soon.
Yes.
I'll have to take. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. If I take my blur off.
Coronavirus.
I don't know whether you can see. Oh, Luda going out on that boat over there.
Let's make you big.
See the boat up in the corner?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Over there by the pier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in that boat there. They're about to go water skiing again. So yeah, he was waving a minute ago, but
Yeah.
my
Lovely.
laptop is feeling mighty hot. Actually, I might have to disappear inside somewhere in a bit. Otherwise, it might overheat.
Yeah.
It's not on a... Is there any sort of air ventilation under it? Is it flat on a kind of hard surface? Or
It's on a hard, white, cool, to be honest, surface, but the air heat and humidity is just so high.
yeah,
it
it's
seems to be
probably not
rather
doing you any
hot.
favors.
Okay, yes. Good evening to everyone who's in live chat. Good evening out there. Stuplum, good evening to you. My Wrench Smiler Rainbow, good evening to you, and I hope you're feeling well now. And good evening to Ruth. Good evening to you. This wasn't Stealth Andy Steve. It wasn't his sort of thing, but I'm sure he'll
No,
be
he's
joining
usually
us.
Monty's own, isn't he?
Yes. I think maybe he got the wrong day.
Yeah.
He'll be
He's like,
joining us
they're
on
live
Friday.
today. Oh, not the ones I want.
Good evening to the beard, Mr. Tavikins. He's there, traveling somewhere in Scandinavia, I'd imagine, in a truck probably. Good evening to you all. Good evening to you. I will just start the evening. We've got a double episode coming along. It's Birthright Part 1 and 2, so we got to get through it. But I will just quickly plug the Monty Zone. The Monty Zone this Friday, 8 o'clock, with some special guests this week. Yes, we'll be talking all things... Oh, what did G say the name of the episode was? I've forgotten.
Oh, I can look.
The Spooky and the Strange.
That's the one.
Yes, the Spooky and the Strange. So yes, we've got some guests who will be interviewing, latest news from the worlds of UFOs, and and some games to play. So yeah, if you want to come along on Friday, join us for a beer and talk all things paranormal. Monty Zone, 8 o'clock on Friday. So there you go, that's my plug done. So if G's watching this back, got you covered. I remembered. Hey. Right, so as it's a double episode, we'll get straight on with Birthright Part 1. That's what we're consigning to the vault first. Here we go. It's episode 16 of season 6 of TNG. I can't believe it. You know, by the end of this evening, the next episode is going to be 18. I can't believe it. It's just plowing along. Production number 40276-242, and it first aired in the US on the 22nd of February 1993. It was the 141st episode of TNG to be both produced and released, and was written by Brannon Braga and directed by Winrick Colby. It was Brannon's 14th of 24 episodes, and Winrick's 13 of 16 episodes. We talked about them both a lot in the past. I would say, Maz, have you got anything to say about those things? But
yeah, I really
nothing,
don't have much structure tonight. I'm going to look some stuff up on the fly, so I might just have to drop some trivs as and when I find it. But
yeah, no worries. So we'll go straight into the teaser. The teaser. Yes, DS9's always going to get a reference in this one. Ruth, you're quite right.
Yes. Well, this hat is so convenient in that respect.
Yeah, I see you got your DS9 command uniform, sort of like, or semi-casual command uniform on and everything. I should have gone with that this evening. I could have done that, couldn't I, really? I didn't think of that.
Oh, you boys, you must coordinate your outfits better.
I know. I missed a trick there. I missed a trick.
There's 197 episodes of DS9, not including this one or the one in Lower Decks. So 200 if you take them all into account. Ah, look at that!
Isn't this the only time that DS9 was in HD?
Yeah, other than the documentary.
Yeah, so apart from the documentary, this is the first and only time we see DS9 in HD. Yeah.
Look at the detail on that art style. What?
It's criminal, actually, I think. Personally, I think it's criminal that CBS can pump out all this shit like Discovery, but they can't give us a HD version of Deep Space Nine. I just think that's absolutely awful.
But they tell us it's too expensive to remaster Deep Space Nine. And I think the cost given at the time, and bear in mind this was 10 years ago, was something like 20 million, which is less than 3 episodes of Discovery. And you can probably create some sort of fan website where you scan up all the clips and like fans will go in and like label scenes for free, you know, and help upscale it. So you wouldn't even need to pay half of what you used to have to pay for because the technology's moved on even from 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the composition work, isn't it? But I mean, as you say, there are special effects people out there with After Effects who will happily do all that work for free just to get it done.
Well, not even the effects. I'm just talking about the tedious thing where they have to scan up all the reels of tape or you know, a film and find all the scenes, you know, and then re-edit it together with the upscaled. So once it's upscaled, they can put it onto some sort of database. And nerds will just go through that for free and start editing it back together. You know, you give them access to that portal, they'll do it.
Yeah, come on, CBS, pull your finger out.
And with the strikes, they had the time to do it and a chance to fill a hole in content, release a new episode every week. But no, not doing it.
Yeah. Okay. The Enterprise has arrived at the station Deep Space Nine. Which, as Tavikins has already pointed out, looks pretty damn cool in HD. Picard's there to assist in the reconstruction of the Bajoran aqueduct system, which was damaged during the Cardassian occupation. Can I just ask, has somebody got... Oh, no, I tell you what that is. I know what that is. I was going to say, has anybody got a fan on? But it's not. I think it's probably because Mouse is sat out in the wind. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's wind and waves happening here.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, no, I know. Silly me. Yes, so Deep Space Nine. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, you can tell they've already spent quite a lot on this two-parter. I mean, look at that model work. I mean, it's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Yeah, although the D is bigger than that. They've downscaled it so it fits, but it should more or less barely fit between those 3 pylons. It's trying to make it look like other ships can get around it. It can't.
No.
It really should be on the docking ring.
To be fair, Deep Space Nine's design is not perfect, is it? Because all these docking points all point together in the middle.
Yeah,
You'd think
originally they were flared out,
flared
and then
out.
they flared them in. Yeah.
They realised
they
it
were
looked
designed
stupid.
for little. They were designed for little freighters that were carrying like almost like coal. Those coal. The railway carts full of coal.
Yeah,
That's all those freighters were, and they were small and neat, and they just shoved it in down big silos. They weren't designed for big starships, so that's why. I guess.
So Beverly and Picard are heading to Ops, where Beverly is telling Jean-Luc Picard about an Ultra 7 relaxation holosuite program she's planning to use. But Picard's going to be far too busy to do that because he's working on the aqueduct reconstruction project. In the Replomat, we see Geordi and Worf trying pasta a la Fiorella. It's one of Geordi's favourite dishes, apparently. Geordi pushes his plate away because there's something very wrong with the replicators that's making the dish taste like liquid polymer. But Geordi is surprised to find that Worf is happily tucking into his meal. Worf thinks it tastes delicious. I seem to remember we've had a scene like that between Geordi and Worf before.
Yeah, there was something else like that. I can't quite. I'm trying to remember. Was it even that? Was it Stargate or something? I can't even remember.
No, I'm pretty sure. I am pretty. I don't know. I can't remember which episode it was, but maybe if anybody in chat knows, I'm pretty sure that we've had a scene in TNG with Worf and Geordi eating something, and Geordi thought it was awful, and Worf thought it was delicious. Let me know in chat.
Yeah, I just found the clip of it there. It's season 1, I think.
Is it?
I can't think what episode it is. I just saw it out of context.
Okay. Yeah. So, as Worf eats his delicious liquid polymer tasting pasta, we see that an Iridian is watching Worf from the upper level of the promenade. Oh, hang on. You didn't see that, but now you'll see it. There he is. Can we also just shout out the sets? You know, the sets, they've gone all out. I mean, look at that for a set. Have you ever seen such a complicated looking set in a TNG two-parter? They've spent the bucks on this episode, I can tell you.
For this one-off episode.
Yeah, for this one-off two-parter episode. Yeah. They
don't even show, Quarks or Ops or, the wardroom or any, they actually did just really do the replica and the promenade shots. So I guess that was just to shoot around what they were doing on Deep Space Nine.
I was going to save it for my summary part of the end of this episode, but I did think for a Deep Space Nine crossover, it was a little bit Deep Space Nine light, to be honest. Like, one shot of the promenade and Julian Bashir. I was like, oh, wow. What a crossover. It wasn't quite as epic as I was hoping.
Well, very nearly, Jadzia got to be in the episode, but it was changed last minute, and she was annoyed because she wanted to be on the TNG sets. So
they were all filming Move Along Home. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do we know what episode this one correlates to with the overlap in DS9?
Well, as it's being filmed around the same time as Move Along Home, I think it's probably got to be around that time.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a technically in chronological order, I guess. This is technically, in Star Trek, the second time, or even the third time, we've seen the Enterprise docked at Deep Space Nine, because Emissary would have come out like half a season or something before this. So,
well, I have an answer to the question. According to the Stardate, this episode takes place between Culis and Dax.
Oh, right. Well done. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
No problema.
So this is the third time we've technically seen the Enterprise dock to Deep Space Nine, even though, as we're only watching TNG at the moment, it's the first time we've seen it.
A bit.
Yeah. So, on the bridge of the Enterprise, Data detects a power drain from starboard EPS conduit in sickbay. It turns out that someone's made an unauthorized access to the computer's bioimaging system. Riker orders Data to go check it out. Riker doing his Riker maneuver stance on top of Data's console. He loves to mount himself on Data's console. It's once again one of those very sort of 1990s Star Trek things, isn't it? Oh, someone's accessing the EPS conduit in sickbay. Why don't Riker go, computer, who's currently in sickbay? The contents of sickbay is currently Dr. Julian Bashir. Ah, well, we know what that is then. No, we'll send Data down in the turbo lift, running down a corridor.
Yeah.
Go
Or
find
you
out.
can just say Riker to sickbay.
Who's there?
What are you doing down there?
Yeah.
You don't have to connect to a person. Or, open up the security cameras in sickbay. Yeah, any number of options.
Any number of possible ways, but send someone running down there. It's the most efficient. Yes. Makes me laugh. So in sickbay, Data finds one Dr. Julian Bashir. Who are you? Who's studying a strange device. Julian is pleased to see Data, as he wants help boosting the power output of the device by 65%, and Data is about to help him do that before he realizes that he's there because of investigating an unauthorized access, and checks himself for a minute. He's like, oh no, wait, no, I'm not here to help you. I'm here to tell you off. Julian introduces himself and tells Data that he thinks this device is some kind of medical scanner that they got from the Gamma Quadrant, and that his computers on Deep Space Nine would have taken ages to analyze it, so he's brought it on to the Enterprise. Data suggests taking it to engineering to run a complete circuit pathway diagnostic.
It's definitely take alien technology next to our warp core, which would cause an immediate breach and sudden death of everything and everyone. That's exactly where we need to test this out.
Yes.
It's not rusted or anything. It's not going to short circuit. Nothing.
No. A device that's likely to shoot out some kind of alien plasma stream type thing. Let's put that right next to the warp core. As they do.
Oh, and the flesh dissolving gas.
Yeah. Yeah. Flesh dissolving gas. Yes. Brilliant. Julian tells Data he didn't expect him to be so personable, which is just, to me, is like a quintessential classic Julian Bashir line. How it's like very polite, but also completely condescending at the same time, which is just so Julian, isn't it? Did make me chuckle. I didn't expect you to be so personable. It's wonderful. Back on the Replimat, the Iridian introduces himself to Worf as Jaglon Shrek. Shrek? Wow, he's changed. He tells him that he is a man with information to sell, and Worf is confident that Shrek doesn't possess any information that he could possibly want. But as Worf gets up to leave, Shrek reveals that his late father, Moog, is in fact still alive. Dun 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 dun. Shocked face on Worf. And that is the end of our teaser. Question time.
Yep, sorry. I was rewriting a question because I didn't think you give away the move along home thing, so I haven't quite got it ready. 2 seconds there. So, first question. What does Bashir first ask Data? Can he... Oh, damn it, that's the freaking next... what I'm an idiot.
That's the next act. That's Act 1. You can ask that, though, if you want.
Sorry, what happened was I was writing this, my computer shut down, and I lost the first 2 questions, and I just threw in quick placeholders, not completing the questions, and then I completed the rest, and I didn't realize. Yeah, so give me like 30 seconds. Maybe there's something else to talk about. I
No
hope.
worries. We can talk about Shrek. He sounds like an alien who happens to have eaten Zephyrin Cochrane.
He does. He's about as old, I guess, as Zephyrin Cochrane would be, I guess. If he was
Yeah.
still
Maybe
going.
that's what Zephyrin Cochrane would look like if he was still alive at this time. He's all melted and wrinkly.
Yeah.
But obviously, I say that because
Got a
it's,
lot of layers, a lot of onion layers.
yeah.
Very tricky.
But
So I have an answer to your question earlier. It was
yeah.
that LaForge and Worf food thingy is a reuse of the same joke from Times Squared. So it was that was the episode, but I still can't remember exactly what it was they were eating. It's just really bugging me. But anyway,
I knew I'd remembered it from somewhere.
this was one of only a handful of series to feature people from a spin-off episode.
I think it was omelets. Sorry.
Omelets. Yes, that's right. Yes.
That's it. Riker's gone
Was
off
it Riker?
eggs.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, he was making like these really weirdy egg omelets, and everyone was absolutely repulsed, but Worf thought it was delicious.
Sorry,
I remembered it from somewhere.
Just before you continue, as I've fixed the questions. Which type of pasta does Geordie order? A, hair pasta, B, pasta fingoli, or C, pasta al fiorelli? And I ran out of time for a fourth one. And the bonus question is, who does Geordie say he will complain to about the replicators?
Oh, I got to answer questions now, haven't I?
Oh, God. Well, you didn't put it in there. One of the notes about the pasta that Geordie is eating is the favorite pasta of Leah Brahms that he was so creepy about knowing.
Oh,
yeah, that may be one of the answers. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so a few other little bitty bits. So I think this was originally going to be a single story, but although I find it really difficult with this first episode to know which story that they would have been going with, presumably more on the Worf sort of story side. But it was decided to add a subplot to bump up the running time. And they thought that the whole sort of Data having a religious experience thing was a little bit too similar to Picard's tapestry. So they changed it to sort of Data dreaming. But originally it was going to be like a bit more sort of spiritual, I guess. First time the DS9 style uniform is seen in TNG, obviously.
Yes, yes.
And this is the only appearance of Julian Bashir outside of Deep Space Nine. There's some stuff about like the sets and things, but yeah, that'll probably do for now. Pull some other bits out for later.
Yeah. Thing is, I think a lot of the cast Deep Space Nine were a little jealous of Julian being, guest starring on the big show, because at the time, like, Deep Space Nine had just started, and TNG was a behemoth, and it's just like, oh, you got to be on the big show, god damn it.
Well, I heard I listened to a podcast with the Merchants of the Clone Star podcast. Sean Ferrick of Trek Culture does it, and he was saying he was very young when he was making this show. In the first couple of seasons, he was a hardcore gamer, so he was often coming in on 2 and 3 hours sleep, like just phoning in. And if it wasn't one of his episodes, he was only in it for a scene or two, phoning it in, going in and out of makeup there for 4 hours, and going home for the next week, because it was addicted to EVE Online or some game. But yeah, he absolutely did not take any seriousness or responsibility for the role the first couple of years. He got better. Eventually, he got married and had a kid with Kieran Reese, with Nana Visitor. But he kind of matured from kind of 22 to 29 or whatever it was over the course of the show.
Well,
you mentioned James. Sorry.
So it wasn't going to be EVE Online, because that didn't come out until like around World of Warcraft in the mid-noughties.
I don't know what games it was, but whatever it was, he had his trailer, and he had a modem in the trailer, and he had a dial-up so he could play it from his trailer when he wasn't on set. Like, which is quite advanced for whatever it was, 93, 94, to have a modem and in your trailer and have a full PC set up and then having a separate one at home. But he was obviously earning on a good wage, so he could afford to do it.
I mean, he's totally in Soren's relatives. I guess he's well off.
Connected. Okay, so shall we have the answers to the first round of questions then?
Sorry about that. As I said, I had some data loss. So it was pasta al fiorelli. Hair pasta was something that Neelix made, and pasta from Gili, as I said, that's what he tried to suggest to Leia Brahms. And Geordi said he was going to complain to O'Brien, which should surprise nobody.
And it didn't. Ruth, Maz, me, Tabikins, and Stuplum.
Yeah, and I had to viciously rewrite a question because I had Move Along Home. I didn't think you'd mention it. But if you remember Move Along Home, early in the episode, Bashir gets zapped by a thing and disappears. And the only reason that happened was that so he could appear in this episode. So they just needed to kill him off early so that he had time to shoot the other scenes.
And no Wookiee. We're going to have to send a search party out for Wooks.
We lost Wook 2 weeks ago, halfway through, and he said he was having some problems. He left a message on the stream backwards, so I guess he watched it back. But yeah, sorry, Wook, we're missing you.
But that means we have no Wookiee wild card, no Wookiee the wild card on the wheel. It's just standard, and that's all of us. So I'm spinning the wheel.
I don't like this. I don't like not having our black hole.
Yeah. Stuplum.
Nice one, Stuplum.
Well done, Stuplum. Congratulations on those extra points. Okay, so we're on to Act 1. Shrek tells Worf that Moog is being held prisoner on a Romulan prison camp. Worf is angry at the thought of this and refuses to believe him, pinning him against a wall and calling him a liar. Shrek tells Worf he will give him the location for a price, but Worf threatens him about spreading such lies and returns to the Enterprise without doing anything about it. Back on the bridge, Worf chews out Ensign for the quality of his report that he submitted, and then snaps at Riker when he requests a rendezvous schedule. He kind of stomps off to his quarters and tries to center himself with some mock bra, but that only manages to the outcome of him smashing his table. Troy enters. Troy enters his quarters, witnessing his outburst on the bridge, and Worf tells her about his encounter with Shrek.
Doesn't knock, just walks in. He could be, jerking it for all she knows, having a fun, happy time. He's like, just walk in.
Oh my god!
Off you go. You're going to get a face full of Spider-Man. You never know if you catch him by surprise and he turns the wrong way. But no, you walk in. It's fine.
Especially the fact that he's a Klingon, so can dual wield.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like one of those really fancy super soakers that only the rich kids had.
Yeah.
You got the 20-pound one, but someone had the 120-pound one. You know the type.
Oh my. Definitely.
And this is the second time Troy's walked in after a Klingon has broken a table.
I was about to say, again, like the food thing, has this happened before?
It has, yeah. But it was Kaylar first time.
Ah, yes. She smashed the table, didn't she? And then Deanna just entered and was like, ooh, you Klingons.
Did the table do something to offend you?
Yeah. So Worf reiterates that it's lies. But Deanna points out that if that's the case, why is he so upset? Just because he doesn't want it to be true doesn't mean that that's necessarily the case. Can we just stop for a moment and just witness how sexy Troy's looking in her uniform?
Yeah. I love when she plays dress up.
Great.
She's looking good. Anyway, in engineering, LaForge and Bashir are working on the medical device. Whilst there, Well, whilst they're at it, the Doc is asking questions of Data, like does his hair grow, and why does he breathe, and why does he have a pulse? Data's surprised as no one has mentioned about his hair growth and breathing before. It's not usually the first things that they ask. But, you know, our Bashir is a special one.
Our man Bashir.
Our man Bashir, yeah. They start a test of the power connections, and they blow, zapping Data with a purpley blue TNG lightning strike. Data falls.
As well, it wasn't turned the other way around.
I know.
Blow the ship.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's okay. They have 12 science labs, but you know, let's use marine engineering.
Yeah, it's cool looking. It's cool looking. Yes, so Data falls backwards and we enter Data's mind. Somewhere Tabikins has been dying to go for some time. And we see Data walking the Enterprise corridors and he comes across Dr. Noonien Soong, who appears to be hammering some metal on an anvil.
Oh, he could have hammered some stuff, for real.
And I love how he's standing in the exact same spot he was in the previous shot.
He's literally just turned
like,
around.
he wakes up, walks around the corridor, comes back, and he's standing in the same mark that he started at. They've obviously just redressed it.
Same corridor? Same corridor?
Well, he's only about 3 or 4 foot back or forward from where he was.
Yeah.
Reverse angle.
And I'm surprised now, as we're in 6 years in, that there's not actually any like carpet wear around where the pool table would be.
Actually, I noticed when they were walking around the corner, you can see the seam where they've obviously they have a second carpet. So when they're doing these walkthroughs, they have 2 carpets. They can take up the part in engineering and replace it.
Can they?
So and it's the opposite of that the carpet there looks too new because you can even see the footprints in it because it's not worn in properly because they've only put it in for that shot. Take it out and put in the other one for the. You can see the footprints. You can see that's so you know it's new. It's not scuffed up evenly.
Well, there you go. That answers my question.
Yeah, that's a nerdy level of detail that I noticed in this episode.
So Data wakes up back in engineering and questions what happened. Geordi tells him he was out for about 30 seconds, but Data's confused as he has memory record for that time, including seeing his father, Dr. Soong. That's Data looking confused. And that is the end of Act 1, and we're on to another question time.
Red alert, are you sure, sir? That does mean changing the bulb.
Yeah.
What does Bashir first ask Data can he do? A, breathe. Sorry, breath, that should be breathe. B, grow a beard. C, grow hair. D, be fully functional. And Tavi, you may have alluded to this. Bashir's real-life uncle killed Kirk and starred in A Clockwork Orange. But what is Orange? Why did I go all Dublin? Orange, but what is his name? So
I will say Smiler Rainbow says she's been binge watching Community, and there was an episode where Levi Burton came on it and they sang Reading Rainbow, and it made her smile now because of course Tavi sings that song. Did you, Smiler, because you've watched Community like many times, do you think that's the first time you really got that Reading Rainbow song, like the first time it actually meant something to you? I bet you hadn't really noticed it before.
Can you use that in British education? Can you use Reading Rainbow? I'm wondering, does it have to be certain shows? Does it have to be Blue Peter? Does it have to come off a list?
I don't know.
You know, what can you introduce? Yeah. Just a little hint there what I'm talking about. So who's that other guy who looks suspiciously like Bashir in old man makeup? It's scary how much they look alike when Bashir has that makeup on. You know, it really does enhance it.
I don't know how to spell this.
Yeah. Close
Sorry, I
enough.
have an interloper in my screen.
Yeah, I've seen that.
No,
Yeah,
no.
have a drink, please.
Oh, it's not Luder, or is it Luder? I say, who's interloping?
It was
it was ludicrous.
It was a ludicrous back from
Yeah,
his skiing.
from his jet skiing. I did actually, while he was going up and down, I did grab my phone and take a little bit of footage of him, even though I'm live on this show. I did, yeah. So he's happy.
Brilliant.
He's going to go get me a pina colada now. Nice.
No Chewie, no Chew, no, nope.
You know, looter is actually an insult in Ireland. It's short for Ludramon.
It's Ludas in ludicrous.
I don't even know what Ludramon even means properly. Hold on, look it up.
Right.
You say it's an insult in the Irish.
Hang on, I didn't have a chance to answer.
The proper word is Ludramon, but you'd refer to him as a looter in shorthand, yeah. Out of his or head, lost it. Oh, a useless fellow, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go.
You call someone
the Irish.
That was the language, not the people. It's
brilliant. Mentioning something Irish.
It's just Irish now.
Right, well, I'm going to go. So, answers to the questions.
Everybody says C.
Sorry, 2 seconds. C, grow hair was first. He did also mention breathe. Grow a beard was from another episode. He didn't mention it and be fully functional. We all know Data can be fully functional, but Bashir didn't got his mind out of the gutter. And yes, Malcolm McDowell is his real life uncle.
Tavi, Monty, and myself. By the looks of it.
No Ruth, no Stuplum.
I don't think so.
No,
hang on, I'll check. I've got all chat on. Yeah, I've got all chat on.
Right, are we ready then? Let's spin the wheel. Ooh. It's Mazza.
Lucky.
I dislike this lack of forfeit. It's taking the danger out of it.
I know.
No.
Particularly when I ask a particularly tricky one and there's only 1 or 2 answers and everyone gets nervous.
No. It's just no good, is it?
It's fine when there's 8 on the board, but no.
It's just
we might have to see if we're going to just put a rule in where Wookiee just remains on the wheel forever as the black hole.
The black hole of doom.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But if he's not here and he likes the spin, does he get to win that night?
No, he doesn't get the point.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not allowed points. Okay. He's not allowed. Okay, so we're on to Act 2. Geordie scans Data and can't find anything wrong, and neither can Data's internal diagnostics. Bashir thinks maybe he dreamed. Data tells me he can't dream, but Bashir reminds him that, well, machines don't dream, but most machines don't grow hair either. So, there's that. Data goes to see Worf in 10 Forward and tells him about his vision, his dream. Worf thinks it sounds like a rite of Majka, a Klingon ritual where prolonged exposure...
Match pair?
Whatever it is.
Match pair, that diamond thing on the table.
I might have spelt it wrong. I can't even read my own writing. Anyway, it's a Klingon ritual where they go into a cave and prolonged exposure leads to hallucinations. Worf tells him he's very fortunate to have such a powerful vision, as he must do all he can to understand it. Worf goes on to say that visions of one's father are particularly powerful, as your father's always a part of you, no matter where he is or what he's done. His own reflection on this informs himself of what he should be doing with the information Shrek provided. Worf heads back down to Deep Space Nine and tracks down Shrek. Instead of just wanting the information, Worf insists he take him there personally. Shrek thinks it's dangerous, but Worf points out that it's more dangerous to refuse because he's going to throw him off the top deck of the promenade. So Shrek gives in, and that is the end of Act 2. Question time.
Alrighty, so Worf mentioned what ritual did Worf say was the act of receiving a vision? A. Majka. B. Brektal. C. Rustai. D. Akfok.
Whew.
And or Vo. Sorry, not.
Oh,
fuck.
okay.
Yeah, and for how long did Data say he was inactive?
Sorry, I massacred the word, but hopefully you got what it was from what I said.
Yeah, to be fair, we kind of hung on it for a few seconds there, so everyone will probably get that.
Right. Whilst we've got his lovely, pretty self on screen there, a couple of bits about James Cromwell. So he obviously also played Zephyr Cochrane, as you mentioned, but he was also a Karema official in Starship Down and Prime Minister Nayrok of Angosia 3 in The Hunted. So he's been in quite a few bits and bobs. His role as the Uridian also was significantly trimmed because he broke his leg in between filming sessions. So, he didn't get as much on the screen time as initially anticipated. This is the first time that Dr. Noonien Soong is played by a recognizable Brent Spiner, because obviously in Brothers he was, under a lot of makeup and is usually sort of shown as being massively aged. But it was quite nice to see his fresh pink face.
He was gorgeous. Did you not see the gorgeousness that was that?
I'm just going to say James Cromwell was in Lower Decks as well. He did come back to voice Zephyr Cochrane on the ride that they used to get into space in Lower Decks. The Phoenix ride. So it was great to have him back. Phoenix Magic Carpet ride in the Phoenix and the whole lot. It was fantastic. Great attention to detail.
God damn it, Ruth's outfoxed us all, along with Sean and his devious questions.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had it down as 47 seconds. He said I was inactive for 47 seconds.
I thought it was 30.
I thought it was 30.
No, Geordie said it was 30. Data said it was 47. So, 47. So
47 reference
I
there. I was sure when I saw Ruth said he said he wasn't inactive and he had memory records. I was like, oh yeah, that was it. He didn't think he was inactive.
He had memory records, but his body was inactive, sitting on the ground for 47 seconds. He wasn't conscious. He was subconscious or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But 47. I suppose we can throw Ruth in because she's technically right. So it's a Stu, Mazza, Ruth 3-way spin.
God damn it!
To
add spin on the end of that 3-way.
Yeah, I didn't, and I will make it a threesome. Do you even hear yourself? No, I didn't mean that.
I think we should have Wookie back.
Yeah, we need a Wook.
I think that's a good idea.
It's like a blue shell in Mario Kart, just to when you think you're winning, just to knock you back.
Ruth, Maz, and Stuplum. Okay, here we go. Spinning the wheel. Oh!
Ruthles. Extra points.
It's Ruth for the extra points. Brilliant. Well then, Ruth.
At least it's being spread around today, not clustering too much.
It certainly is. Right, we're on to Act 5.
People are actually looking up like, someone's about to get thrown off the promenade.
Yeah.
Happens every week.
Yeah. The security don't even do anything. Odo's just like, that's happening again. Whatever.
I really like that guy.
Sorry, I know before we move on, I was just going to say, Majka, everyone got. Does anyone want to know what Brektal is?
Oh.
Was that the coming of age where you get beat up by the power sticks?
No, I'm going to tell you it's from the episode House of Quark, if that helps.
Oh, is it a marriage ceremony?
Yeah, so because she's allowed to claim the marriage of the person who killed her husband, Krilka, and that's what the Brechtal was. And the Roostai was the brotherhood bonding ritual Worf did with that guy, that little kid he called his brother, we never saw again. And the Akvok or Agva was basically minding a body until you have a chance to bury it. Waking the body.
A bit like sitting shiver.
Yes.
Yeah, basically the same.
Here we see a shot of Shrek's shuttle.
It's just the Rasmussen shuttle. It's the same. You can tell by all the diamond angles, inside and outside.
It was also the one in Final Mission where they crash land on that desert planet, with Picard.
The Nenembek, named after Larry Nemeczek, who's the guy who did the fact files. He got that named after him. But they went Nenembek instead of Nemeczek. Don't know why.
Yeah, you can see the angles. It's the same cockpit as well. Worf and Shrek head to this Korea sector. They determine that Worf will need to beam down and then make his way 12 hours on foot to the compound through a jungle so that they remain undetected. Shrek advises Worf to get some rest now because it will be an arduous journey. On the Enterprise, Picard's studying aqueducts in his ready room. Data enters and tells Picard he studied 4,000 religions and philosophies, and he studied 200 psychological schools of thought, but could not find any answers he was looking for into the messaging of his dream. He starts listing the symbology, like the hammer, etc., and what it relates to in different cultures, but Picard stops him and asks him, but what does it mean to him? Data being a culture of one. Picard advises him to explore what it means to himself and let that inspire him. Data thanks him for his advice and leaves him to it. We then see a very, very quick scene of Data painting lots of pictures in his quarters.
How cool is Picard, though? I mean, what good advice that is.
It's
like,
great.
Kind of spiritual and wise, and he's just awesome.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? I suppose the basic question.
Yeah, you don't. When you look at the Sistine Chapel, you don't think of what it means to all the other cultures of the planet, but what did it mean to Michelangelo when he painted it? Or whatever. That was the kind of example he led with. Yeah, so he gets on painting his pictures. And then we get them traipsing through the jungle. I'd say they do a pretty good job of making the planet hell look all jungly in this episode, because they're obviously on the same set. But it looks pretty good.
I love how they just have a kind of a tiny little shoebox diagonal set, and they shoot it back and forth from two different angles just to make it look bigger. Move a few plants around. But it's the size of the room I'm in, like a kind of a large sitting room, not much bigger.
But we're actually on Korea 4, where Shrek points Worf in the direction of the camp. He gives him a homing device and to where the ship will be located in about 50 hours to pick him up. It's not in the same place as where he dropped him off, which I thought was funny because he said he was going to beam him down a minute ago, but then they obviously landed and went out together. So, I don't know, change of plan there. But whatever it might be, Worf's on his way to the compound, and that is the end of Act 3. Question time.
Okay, so what system is Worf directed to find the prison camp? A. Nequentia, B. Echevarria, C. Mutara, D. Karaya. And then the bonus question: Data's picture paints his father holding what in his hand?
Do 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 do. Da 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 da.
Hello.
Has everybody got their red wine this evening? I actually have red wine this evening. I have my blood wine.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're in live chat.
Hornhead.
What you've got? What have you got with you this evening? Let us know in chat.
I went to a different supermarket than usual. I've got a Hornhead Malbec. I don't know what Hornhead is. It's all right. But I am kind of bunged up, so I have no idea. It could taste horrible if I wasn't bunged up. But it's strong enough for me to taste it.
Oh, that must be good.
It could be overpowering if I wasn't bunged up. I don't know.
D Hammer, not MC Hammer. Hey, can't touch this.
Well, I seem to be covered in D's, and I seem to be covered in big data Soong hammers all over the place. You don't want to be around when they start swinging those things. You're right on both counts.
He can knock me out with his hammer all he wants.
Okay, so what have we got for the we got
Can we put Wookiee on here?
All right, we'll put Wookiee back on it. All right.
You see what we did?
Is that how you spell it?
Who you drove us to?
We need the danger.
That's Hookie.
Oh.
No, according to Stewie. Wookiee.
Hookie.
So quick.
Monty. Stupum. Ruth, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Me.
6. Wait, we're missing one. Tavi. Right, full house on the wheel.
Oh, Monty gets science yellow.
Let's spin it.
Stu has look at the wheel tonight.
Stupum. Well done, Stupum.
Yeah,
The
it's not a
wheel is
data.
with you.
I think you're looked at.
The wheel is with you. And we're into Act 4. Some pictures to start off Act 4. So, traipsing through the jungle on the way to the compound, Worf comes across a young female Klingon bathing in a pool. And he pervs out for a bit. Just going, oh.
It just comes across as an odd choice of words.
Yeah. And eventually she gets out and she finds him in the bushes. She thinks it's one of her friends, but turns out to be Worf. She's frightened at first when she sees him, but Worf tells her it's okay, don't panic. I'm here to take you home. She says she is home. She doesn't understand what he's talking about. And she goes off and he tells her not to tell anyone that she saw him. And as she leaves, we see that she goes and checks in with a couple of Romulan guards. Yeah, he's a creepy old man. It's not as bad an age gap as last week with Picard and his young friend from college. But
yeah, that was nearly my age, about 37, 38 years. Yeah, that was a bit.
I had to tell Mr. Tavykins on that one because I'm like and I couldn't rewatch the episode again after that.
Yeah, that wasn't good. So we're back on the Enterprise and in Data's quarters. Geordie's come in to see where Data is because he's missed an appointment. He's still painting scenes from his vision. Though it's not getting him anywhere. He's ended up painting birds and feathers and hammers and all sorts of things, even a diorama of a corridor, but it doesn't help. He doesn't know why. So he decides he would like to recreate the experiment, the accident, and see where it leads him. And Geordie's like, okay, let's do that then.
We'll set it right up next to the warp core again.
Yeah. It might fry your circuits, but yeah, we'll do it again. We'll do it. Yeah.
And there's your 2.5 mil audio inputs that they always use.
No, maybe we should run this one past Captain Picard. You know, we have an alien device from the Gamma Quadrant that we use to zap Data. It's done unknown damage, or what we don't know what it's done to his neural net, but we're going to do it again. No, gents.
It's not like
no.
almost killed him.
and of like over 90% of the crew or anything. Just just data.
Just data. That's the sort of thing that leads to a virus running rampant, or some the Enterprise computer becoming an AI sentient thing that starts transforming the Enterprise into some sort of, I don't know, super cannon or some such thing like that. That's the start of that kind of storyline, isn't it? But they go off and do it anyway. I noticed that they hooked Data up with the same audio jacks, 3.5 mil audio jacks again that they did in Fistful of Datas the other day. Same terminal and everything.
Well, to be fair, at least it's consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent. Yeah.
Although even in Picard, they still plug them in. I guess they're afraid of wireless. They've learned not to use it for certain core functions.
Yeah. Julian's still there with the machine, so I don't know if they just, spent the entire day going about their business and just left Julian stood there in engineering with this piece of machinery. Just like, we'll be back in a bit.
We know they shot both scenes back to back. That he was just there for one day.
I just imagine him just standing there all day, just going, hello? Hello?
Do you think Data could be? I didn't think he would be wireless. He's got a enclosed system. That's why the Borg couldn't get in.
That's what I was saying. He's not he can't. He has to plug in even in Picard. When he was lower, they plug him in and he takes over the ship. But he physically has to be a cable going into him for it to happen.
But the Borg don't have 3.5 mil audio cables, do they?
No.
They haven't got Sony Walkmans.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this in Stargate, and what's the little green men? What are they called again? The little green men aliens, the Asgard.
Yes.
They're having trouble fighting the replicators, and they go to him. They say, "Look, we're too intelligent to think of a stupid solution to be able to fix this." And then he goes, "So you need someone to be stupid in your half?" And he goes, "You may have come to the right place." It just
very good.
Basically, we're so intelligent we can't think of the stupid solution, and that's why we're losing the battle.
That's something I could binge again. Actually, I haven't done a Stargate binge.
I'm only 2 episodes away. I'm only 2 episodes away from the end of Red Dwarf, and I think Stargate again next.
Stargate, that's a
just
good shout.
Just SG1. No, maybe Universal.
Yeah, SG1 is it there.
But I mean, there's 10 years of SG1. There's like 260 episodes. That's going to take me a while.
Worth it.
They're all great.
So they do it again, and yes, they knock Data out again, and he goes on a walk through the corridors, and once again, he finds often wrong Soong working on the anvil. But as he looks at it, it's not a big sheet of metal that he's hammering into the anvil. It's a bird's wing. When Soong places the wing in a bucket of water, with the steam, the wing and Soong disappear, and in its place is a bird, like a crow, that then flies away. Data's then transported to... Sorry?
I was just going to say, I love the callback in Picard to that, that they brought it back again. Sorry, basically.
Yeah. He's then transported to the bridge, where Soong appears and tells him that the fact that he is here and can see him has shown him he has crossed the line from being a collection of circuits to now something else. He has started on a new journey of discovery, and his father is proud of him.
Don't bother with discovery, it's no good.
No. Think of this space in his mind as an empty sky, and that he is a bird. Data then imagines... Sorry.
Hold on for a second.
Yep.
Can we not just appreciate that we've got both those schnozzes in profile? Woo!
You just wanted to stop me moving the photo on for a little bit, didn't you? You just.
I did. I need you to pause there for a minute. Just let me sweat this one out.
Stop a minute.
Oh my god.
Let's take this in. Just absorb.
You got a smooth back. You got a wild. Oh my God! You got alabaster gold skin, and then you got nice pink meat. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, continue. So good.
Mr. Tyvikin says it took about 7 months to watch SG1. Yeah.
Well, I work from home, so I can get through 20 hours a week just while I'm working, so it's pretty good that way.
We watched it for my pregnancy, for the pregnancy of.
I've just noticed you've gone from red to yellow.
Yeah, no, like I normally try and catch Tavia, but not telling her. But anyway, that's gone.
Sorry,
but I will.
I noticed.
Stephen Fry, who is Jewish, did actually tell a joke on QI once, and he goes, "Do you know why Jews have such big noses?" He goes, "Because air is free." No, he told that joke, so I'm only repeating it. So that's the only reason. It's okay to repeat it if he said it. That's
Stephen Fry would not like it if you said he was Jewish. He's an atheist.
Yeah, he's Jewish. He's Jewish
of Jewish descent, maybe, but I wouldn't say he was Jewish.
Not Jewish religiously, Jewishy in family history.
Yeah. Yes, think of the space as empty as a sky, and that he is a bird. So Data literally then imagines himself flying around the corridors as a bird, and even flies through the bulkheads and out to space. And he wakes up in engineering, seemingly amazed
during this
at this new discovery.
There's a crew member visible, like the black t-shirt on, but I didn't catch it. But yeah.
It's removed in the remastered version.
No, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm just trying to see if I can.
No, I read up on that, but they
did.
She was there as they turned the cover, but it's taken out. Yeah,
they've taken it out.
I didn't see it.
There you go. Anyway, that is the end of Act 4. Question time.
You can just leave that there. Oh, lovely photo of Data. You even get a nice shot of LeVar's little juicy booty.
Sean, you're muted.
Question time? Oh.
Sorry, what was the name of the girl that Worf encounters outside the camp, or Eno encounters as I wrote it? A. Bartot, B. Bator, C. Balana, D. Bael. And that's the same question twice, Sean.
Oh, no, I tried to do that remotely. That didn't work, did it? Try that, that's better.
Right. What does Noonien tell Data he is before he does a fly around? You're a blank.
A twat.
It's Meghead.
Oh, we're so mature.
Yeah.
I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away.
So, have we got any trivs? According to Jay Chataway, the dream sequence of Data for the first time used an electric wind instrument, which was, it was the first time they've used an electric wind instrument. Really random fact.
That is a random fact.
Yeah. I should have maybe vetted it before I said it, but never mind. Oh yeah, at the beginning, did you notice? I think it was at the beginning, wasn't it? Was it at the beginning where Morn was in a picture of the promenade?
Hey, I didn't see Morn. No.
Oh, was he? It was either towards the end or the beginning, so I don't know if it's already happened. But yeah, Mark Allen Shepherd, cameo role, only TNG appearance, but Morn was there, and he had some like alien woman fawning all over him, so it looked like he was getting lucky. Good for Morn.
I was trying to see if I could see it. But...
That dude's a billionaire. Like he.
Yeah. Might have been towards the end. I can't remember if it was at the beginning or the end, but it was on a panning shot of the promenade.
Just pacing it through, just see if I can see Morn there. I guess
the main reason they didn't use quarks is because obviously Move Along Home is mostly sent in quarks, or at least half of it is. So I guess that didn't make sense to them, so they deliberately avoided it. Yeah, it must be at the end.
Her hair looks fabulous.
Can't see it.
No. Oh yeah. Oh no, we haven't got that far yet. So that's it for me for a minute.
I'm going to have to find Morn now.
Oh yeah, Rube saw Morn. Oh, Morn was there at the beginning. Was very chatty with the ladies. He was, yes. Then she says, "Oh, maybe it was the end of the first half." Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was.
The end of Birthright Part 1, you mean? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was this bit. No. I think it must have been later. Yeah.
Mr. Tavikins has told a dad joke in chat, but I think Sean should deliver it.
Go on then.
Yeah, laughing out loud is forbidden in Hawaii. In Hawaii, it's aloha state.
I love it. This is why I married you, dear.
Very good. Very good.
Why are mountains funny? Because they're hilarious.
Okay. That's not a cue now to go on a whole spate of dad jokes, Sean. That's,
I kept wondering was the frisbee was getting bigger, and then it hit me. All right, now I'm done.
Damn, right. Okay, cool.
Shut up, Sean.
Right. So what's the question? What's the question? No, what's the answers to the questions?
Yeah. D bird is the word. Yes, that is
Bird is a word.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, Bartot. I can't remember where I pulled that for. Betor, obviously, Lursen Betor. Balana is Balana Torres. So, yeah, it was. I had made that one quite easy. Yeah, he said you're a bird, and of course he went for a fly around, quite reminiscent of Stage 9.
Marvelous. So
we're 5 for 5. Everybody got both of those, right?
Everyone, so we're all on. Spin the wheel.
Yeah, I think it's important to have a couple of easy ones and a couple of hard ones.
Oh no, we all lost points.
Oh, it was like put Wookiee back in the wheel now. Look.
Yes.
Oh,
The pain.
Oh, at least we were all on it, so it was a net.
Yeah. You washed your face. Yeah.
Okay, we're into the final act. We're into the final act of this one, of this part. Act 5. So, Data tells Bashir that it appears that the accident has waken up circuits in his neural net that he hadn't gained access to. He will now deactivate himself every night to learn about them, so he's going to go to bed and dream. Bashir thinks it's fascinating, and he would like to write a paper about it, and Data agrees to let him. Meanwhile, Worf enters the prison camp by climbing over the wall and discovers a group of Klingons, either performing a ceremony or just having a good old sing-song around a campfire. Worf grabs one of them and tells him he is Worf, son of Moog. He tells him he is looking for his father, but the Klingon tells Worf that Moog fell at Kittimer. He's not here. The rest of them were captured, and Worf concludes that he was denied the right, that concludes they were denied the right to die in battle. Turns out that there were 73 survivors, but the Klingons tries to tell Worf there are things he doesn't understand, but Worf isn't really listening. The Klingon tells him he remembers him from when he was a boy, and when his dad would take him out hunting, and he hurt his arm, and Worf remembers he still has the scar. But he should not have come here. Other Klingons arrive and grab Worf. He fights 3 of them, but Romulan guards arrive with disruptors. And that is the end of Act 5 and your Part 1. So it's the final question time of this episode.
Oh, too many tabs open. How many Klingons are based in the camp? A, 53, B, 63, C, 73, D, 83. And sorry, I just needed a filler question. Bonus is, what was the name of Michael Dorn's character in Star Trek 6? I possibly might have asked this one before, but sure, it was a while ago.
You did, yeah.
Oh, I did. Okay, well, it should be easy to remember. So, yeah, it's fine if you get it mostly right, if you don't get it 100% bang on.
I'm imagining when you say that first question, how many are based in the camp? I mean, he tells them the number of survivors there were, but I imagine that there's either less now because some have died, or more because they've had children.
Well, I'm going off the dialogue that you literally just said it there a second ago in your script.
All right.
And I did say Klingons. I'm not including the Romulans.
No.
Dozen or so guards.
What about Klingon Romulans?
Also, even in that shot, those guards look, I don't know, let's say like somewhere between 25 and 35. But the camp was 23 years old. So were the guards there when they were 9?
Romulans are like Vulcans, though. They're probably like 80 years old.
Oh, that's a fair point. I didn't think of that. Well done. You went nerd. Take a nerd point.
They're long-lived, aren't they? You know?
They are, yes.
Yeah. How do you spell it? I don't know how you spell it. How do you spell Colonel?
K-O-R-N-E-L. No, it's actually C-O-L-O-N-E-L because it's one of those weird things that came over from French, from English, like lieutenant. But I wouldn't be overly concerned. We have so Tavi didn't know. Yeah, it's Colonel Worf, but Worf would have been fine. I don't think. Yeah, I guess you didn't answer. Okay, I guess
C. Everybody got C's.
I have some trips and stuff anyway.
73. Yep, by all means.
So the exterior shots of the Romulan fortress were created by Dan Carrier and inserted shots of a miniature into jungle photographs he'd taken from Laos. Is it Laos? In the 1960s. I thought that's pretty cool. The Iridian shuttle used to transport Worf from to the Romulan prison camp was the same one that Durgo transported Picard and Wesley in Final Mission.
Yep.
And then some stuff about Lakor, the Klingon guy. Is played by Richard Hurd, who was actually a member of the Enterprise Blues Band, apparently a musical group that wrote and performed songs about Star Trek. But he also played Admiral Owen Paris in Pathfinder, Inside Man, author in Endgame, and played the Klingon killer. Oh no, Birthright Part 1 2, of course, yeah.
He's the second
Admiral. The guy played Admiral Owen had been in something else recently. Is that not right?
There was two different Admiral Parises, so it might have been the other one.
Ah, right, okay. Good point.
He was in more episodes. He was in when they talked to home and when they came home, but there was a first one. I think he died or something. I can't remember. But anyway, they replaced him after one episode.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's all I have.
I think it's just me and Ruth, isn't it?
And Wookie.
Okay.
How proud am I now that we've written back
just
in.
while you're setting that up, tomorrow's episode of Lower Decks is the 898th episode of Star Trek overall. Although there is some disputes about short treks and stuff, exactly how you count it. So we're only 2 weeks away from 900 episodes, which means in about the next 2.5 years, we should hit 1,000. Crazy times we live in.
Yeah.
I put Counselor Worf. Does that?
No, well, it was Colonel Worf, but Worf.
I suppose you put Worf. Yeah, I'll give you a Worf.
I did put Worf.
I want more
I can't remember what his title was.
There you go. Right, spinning the wheel.
Yeah, but he was the grandparent or great grandparent of the Worf we know.
Oh, fudge.
Monty Wookie!
No.
Oh, Tabby's so happy.
I love it.
Tabby, you really should watch Star Trek 6. Rene Auberjonois is in it. Kurtwood Smith is in it. Said Michael Dorn is in it.
Wow.
So many good.
Rene Auberjonois is only in it if you've got it on like Blu-ray or DVD. If you watch it on any of like the streaming services, now he's not in it.
Oh, really? Oh, they got rid of him. And
they cut his scenes
Christian
out.
Slater's in it.
Christian Slater's in it briefly.
Yeah, and his mum was a casting director. and he got a check for it, and he framed it, and he didn't cash it, and he walked straight. He just put a code over his uniform and walked off the set. He still has it.
Yeah. Joanne Slater, his mum, casting director. Okay. This lady. Can't remember her character's name. But she's in Heroes. She's like a bit of like
and what's his name? Which one of the Spocks was in Heroes? The 09 Spock. What's his name?
Yeah. That guy. Spock.
God, not the current one, the one before.
The one before. The film Spock.
Kelvin Spock, he was in Heroes. I can't remember his name.
Zachary Quinto.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, he was in Heroes with this woman. She's like plays like the mum character, like the sort of semi-evil mum like character.
I will say he played a great Spock. 09 films, I'm not crazy on them, but he was the best of them.
Meh.
He was quite delicious.
He was all right. But then I thought all of them played quite good characters, to be honest. I quite like them all, as far as the characterizations go. My favourite is McCoy.
Simon Pegg did a proper Scottish accent.
Yeah. And McCoy was just brilliant. I love it.
Oh, sorry, McCoy. Yes. You're right. He was fantastic too.
God damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor.
Carl Urban.
Yeah,
Carl Urban is
Carl
as good as
Urban,
Jeffrey
yeah,
Combs. He's
amazing.
fantastic.
He's great.
Yeah. Luckily, he didn't play McCoy as he plays Butcher in The Boys, because that would have been a different take on McCoy character.
Billy Butcher.
Yeah.
Are you tossing up the bingo?
Or
Jack?
Dread.
Damn it,
Dread.
Kirk. You cat. Oh, no. It's just awful, isn't he? Anyway. Yes, tot up those points. If you've got a score for this episode, please put it in chat. What would you score Birthright Part 1 out of 10? Let us know. And I will... Birthright Part 1.
Remind me, how do we do the bingos for these? It's just over the 2 episodes, is it? Or
It's per ep. Oh, it's over 2 episodes. So are we not doing totals till the end of the second one then?
To the
That
end.
makes sense.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
so
We're just doing
you
pure
just-
scores here.
All right. So the points are the points at the moment then. Right. Okay. So in first place with 430 TNG review points is Stuplum with 10 points on the board.
118. Well done, Stuplum. You won that episode fair and square.
In second, third, and fourth place with 410 points is Tavi, Ruth, and myself. So we get 8 points each on the board.
8. So
tight
that's
game here.
135, 133, and 122. Okay.
And in fifth place, but actually only 10 points behind, was Monty with 6 points.
6 points. So that's
exceedingly unlucky.
1, 2, 3. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okie dokie then. That's
So you
the
were one
score.
spin away from being like first.
Oh, I know. How terrible. Right. Get your paddles ready. What do you score? Birthright Part 1 out of 10. Scores on the doors. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go. 8, 8, 8, 8. What? Oh,
And the
was that
chat
9?
is-
No, mine was a 9. Sorry.
9. I was about to say,
9, okay.
have we all got the same? But no, Maz ruined it.
Yeah.
I ruined it.
You and Stu in the chat are both
An
8s.
8 for the audience, I think, as well. So yeah,
I was tempted to go 9. I really was, because I was so excited about Deep Space Nine. But yeah, I've kind of watched and rewatched it, and it just pushed me back down to an 8. It's good.
yeah,
It's just not amazing.
And it puts it in joint second place, of this season. But will Birthright Part 2 beat it? That's going to be the question now. That is going to be the question that is on everybody's lips. Well, mine anyway, because I just said it. Just getting rid of some of those
very,
tabs.
the whole data thing doesn't extend, which they should have done, and it just kind of lost me in the second one. Just kind of lost me.
I might say you're not going to like the second one as much as the first one, are you? I can tell this.
Me too.
But I think it's going to be popular with Maz because she likes a bit of Klingon.
Do you have correct? Do you like that? Why is Klingon your favorite?
You're on mute, Maz.
Sorry, was that why?
Yeah, why is it?
I think when I was younger watching this for the first time, I was, a bit more sort of alternative, and it's like with Klingon rock, and like, I used to collect knives. They got all the knife weapons and like a lot of black and red, which were like my colors. I don't know. I just guess like as a teenager, I kind of identified.
It was kind of a punk thing.
And I also had a bit of a crush on Worf. So yeah.
She loves a bit of Michael Dorn.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've refilled my blood wine for the second episode. Done my Picard maneuver to get myself all straightened out. Eyes down looking for Birthright Part 2.
Sean's moved on to the spirits.
Oh dear.
We've got a whole episode to go. Will he be slurring by the end of the show?
There's a very strong possibility. Well, I already was before we started because I am. Yeah, I don't know if you can see how red my face is getting. It's not from the drink. It's from my body just being in fever at the moment. So we'll see how that happens.
Let's see how this goes, shall we?
Fever in the morning.
So, Birthright Part 2, Episode 17 of Season 6, production number 40276-243. It first aired on the 1st of March, 1993. It was the 142nd episode of TNG to be both produced and released. This particular episode was written by Rene Echeverria. This is his 9th of 18 episodes, and it was directed by the one and only Dan Curry. His only directorial debut for Star Trek, and he was a prolific second unit director, and obviously the prolific special effects coordinator and supervisor and things.
Yeah, he wrote Star Trek 4, which definitely the best of the Star Trek TOS films.
He wrote Star Trek 4?
Did I read that? I could have sworn I read that.
He produced the title sequence for Star Trek 4.
Oh, maybe
as
that's what
title sequence effects supervisor.
That's probably all right. Apparently one of his middle names is Miles. Maybe that's where they got Miles O'Brien from, because not a common Irish name. It's very. I saw that in Memory Alpha today.
But very much for the look of a lot of things in Star Trek, and for the matte paintings, and for all the Dan Curry is a Star Trek man through and through with this era of Star Trek. But it's nice to see him get his directing opportunity with this episode.
Yeah, well, they didn't like him much. They never offered him back. But what I will say about him is apparently he was back in the day, they used to have a thing against hiring fans. Like now it's quite the opposite. They love to hire people who know about the show, and they don't have to pay them to research it. But he had to pretend he didn't like it until about season 5, season 6, and then it was in the job too long for him to fire him. And then you'd have to try and pretend why he knew things, because he couldn't give away. He watched it
I researched that just today.
Analyze it.
Yeah.
But he had to kind of pretend that he wasn't into it to not give away that he was working really hard not to break canon. So fair play to him.
Okay, so we're on to the teaser again. Woo! So the Klingons tell Worf why they were captured. They tried everything they could do to end their lives when they were captured, but the Romulans, not knowing any better, just kept them alive. The Klingon Council would not acknowledge that Klingon warriors had been captured in battle and survived, and eventually the Romulans said they would let them go, but they didn't want to leave, because leaving would bring shame on their families, dishonor. So they agreed to stay and, just live a quiet life.
Well, I've a point on that, which is, when you've no honor left, you can ask like a family member to kill you, for an honorable death. We cover that later. So couldn't they just go home and say, okay, stab me in the heart, and then I'll have an honorable death because I didn't get one in prison, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there was a way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worf tries to make them feel better by pointing out that he would have felt no shame if he had come here and found his father still alive. But the main Klingon dude tells Worf if his son were to find him, he would hope his son would kill him outright. And that was the end of your teaser. So question time.
Okay, so the first
Dishonor
question.
on your cow. What? Dishonor on your cow.
You don't remember that from Disney's Mulan?
No.
The little dragon goes, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
I'm sure Mazma Bob knows what that is because I know that Ludacris
I'm
makes,
sure Luda would know that reference.
makes her watch all things.
I like my Disney,
Disney.
but Milan never struck a chord with me. Although I like a lot of Lin-Manuel Miranda stuff, and I think he did some Milan. Anyway, so teaser. In what battle did these Klingons get captured? No options because it's far too common in lore. And the bonus question is, what exception did Murdoch state in DS9 where you do not have to kill yourself if captured?
Again, excuse the spelling. I've got no idea.
Yeah. And again, I know these questions go up and down in difficulty, but it's important to separate some wheat and chaff and have some hard ones and some easy ones. That's so that everyone's on top points.
No idea how the spelling of that goes.
All right. Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
Oh, Wook's back.
Oh, wow.
All right, glad to hear it, Wook. Where were you away to? Strange Ways?
Wookie! We put you on the wheel. You're still on the wheel, mate. You're still there.
Yeah, we had to reinstate you. It was no fun without you.
No.
That element of danger needed to be there.
I think he went. He's been time traveling. He's been going through all the future episodes to find out what all the questions were, so he could come back.
You're the silver tickets in the Crystal Dome. You
come
really
back
are.
and answer them.
You burned us twice on the wheel too.
Yeah, you've been taking the points off us this evening, Wooks. Yes. What was the second question? I missed it.
Second question was, what exception did Murdoch state in DS9 where you do not have to kill yourself if captured?
Oh.
So they introduce a retcon to explain you don't have to kill yourself if you're captured.
Right.
And it's a hell of a loophole, which would have suited this episode perfectly, which is why I included it as a question.
The writers a little few more years to think about, though, right?
yeah, but it basically rewrites everything. The excuse is the shame. Anyway. But I'll give Monty a chance to answer. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
I was going to say, apparently there was a December holiday break in between episodes, and the trees and plants that were left for the jungle and garden sets were all left by accident on dark sound stages.
Oh, no.
And died while people were away for Christmas. So then they all had to be replaced.
Don't.
Whoops. All they had to do was leave them out on the road and water them once a day.
Yeah. And as Tavi, many fans were disappointed that Data's story didn't continue from episode to episode, as well as the sort of Klingon side of the story continuing.
I did feel that whole part of that Data story because we didn't really talk about the episode that much at the end. We just gone straight on to the next one. But I did think the one thing I actually liked that sort of second story of Data and his, well,
it was kind of the primary story. It felt like the stuff with Worf was almost like the B story.
Yeah,
and then the next episode it becomes the A story.
Yeah,
it was almost like it was just like a slight prequel kind of build up.
Yeah, but I do think, though, that despite it being a relatively okay A story, I did feel it took some of the... At the end of the day, this device cheated him into getting his dreaming abilities. He didn't crack the code himself. He didn't evolve to a state where he could unlock that part of his neural net. A freak accident sort of gave him a cheat code access to it. So he kind of got to this big point in his life, kind of unearned, really, which I just thought was a bit of a shame for him.
Isn't that a lot of life, though? Things come to you and when they shouldn't, and things don't come to you when they should, and it's kind of.
And the thing
life,
is
really.
Soong probably wasn't to know, but it's quite nice that Data has such a quest for greater humanity and stuff, and this little revelation about himself is a nice sort of part of that path. Even if it came at an unexpected time, it will still help with his sort of human development, I guess.
I don't think they ever mention it again. But
nope.
But it's nice, though. It's nice for him. I thought Soong's description of it as well, seeing this place in his memory as a blue sky, like a blank slate, for him to paste whatever things he wanted in it, and be a bird. I thought that was a nice way of giving him a starter for 10, to help him understand what it's all about. Wookie wants to see you in Speedos, Sean. That's worrying. We could have a TNG review show, OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Suddenly those subscriptions go up.
That's right, yeah. Oh, did I find out?
Luda was along earlier in his little,
I know,
his little red Baywatch shorts.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, well, obviously, Sean Aloysius O'Brien is my real name. It's Sean O'Sullivan. But references the episode Bar Association. And if you've been following the strike action, any of the Star Trek protests have all referenced the Bar Association episode because it's all about unions, and quoted the character that obviously I've adopted as a moniker. So it's gone from being obscure to being kind of mainstream in the last 6 months. The strike seems to be broken now. It's kind of tentative. Hopefully the next week or two. As I said, I was hoping they'd remaster DS9 because they need to put something out and they have nothing to put out, and they could just put out 2 episodes a week or 1 episode a week and we'll keep the viewing figures up. But yeah, we're still waiting. Anyway, sorry, we'll move on.
Yeah. Sorry, Chief O'Brien in Speedos, not Chief Sean O'Brien. I missed that, Wookie. I missed that, yes.
Yeah, I meant Miles.
God damn it. Yeah. Okay, so did we have answers to the questions? No, we haven't. What's the answer to the question, Sean?
So it was the Battle of Kittimer, and don't care about the spelling. And the exception was if there was any chance of escape, then you didn't have to kill yourself. And this is a killer for me because it completely undermined. They did it for the episode to explain why he's in a prison camp for 2 years, but surely there's always a chance of escape. No matter if it's only 1 in a million or 1 in a billion or 1 in a trillion, there's always a chance of escape. So therefore, there can be no shame if you're always looking for a way out. Even if you're submitted 200 years, there's always a chance, these things get overturned. So
I don't think anybody got that right then. I mean, I said...
I think no, they didn't, but I think everybody got Kittimer right.
Yeah.
I said when there were still enemies to fight. Monty Brown said you can assassinate your captors. But
No,
nobody
okay,
said
no.
if there's chance of escape.
Yeah. No, that's what it is.
No wheel spin this time round, then.
Okay.
No wheel spin.
No,
But
no
everybody
wheel
else
spin.
got 20 points.
Yes. Right, Act 1. So, we see the shot of the prison there, as you say. It was like a composite of a model in an old photo, and it's very nice looking indeed. In fact, as far as prisons go, I think it's got a certain quality to it. This shot kind of reminded me of like Lost, you know? Like this is like a, you know, it give me Lost vibes. Like this is a what's that company in Lost called? I forgot what they're called. Dharma Initiative.
Yeah.
Like this is a Dharma Initiative building in the middle of a jungle, you know?
Dharma. Yeah.
Is anyone see like a surprised face? Do you see like the front of the main building there? It's like a face going. Just me.
Yeah. Just you.
Well, now that you've mentioned it.
Kind of to me looks like a bit like a Pokemon.
I was also thinking that. I was about to say. Yeah, it does look like a face.
Okay. So,
Also, looks too small for 100 people. But anyway,
has anybody seen? Oh no, I'm not going to talk about One Piece. Okay. Worf sees Klingon tending a garden with a Gentax spear, and is disgusted that such a weapon would be used to till soil. It turns out that the younglings think their parents brought them here to escape the war, because they're people of peace, and Worf tries to tell the boy that the war was over many years ago, but the boy's not interested.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
It was one of his.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I've got a disgusting. I've got one of those phrases later on. So anyway, Baal, I think her name is Baal.
Well, yeah.
Baal, who he saw in the washing herself in the pond in the first episode, confirms this notion that the Klingons are forced to fight. That's what they've been taught by the Romulans, that the Klingons force their population to fight even when they don't want to. And they've escaped it here because they're people of peace and to make a new safe home. Worf's appalled by all this. He tells her that if she is as free as she thinks she is, she should ask her father to, say, visit the Klingon homeworld and see what he says.
I wouldn't say they're forced to fight, but they're certainly encouraged to. Yeah, I doubt every one of them wants to be a warrior. You know, it seems a bit simplified.
They're Klingons. Of course they do.
Well, they invented warp travel and deflectors and shields, stellar cartography.
Anyway, shut up. This is she thinks it's sad that he can't leave the compound because he won't be able to go and visit her at the pond again and watch her from the bushes. It's kind of a strange thing to want Worf to do, but
to be fair, I think it's I was gonna say it's her that says that, isn't it? It's not Worf being pervy. But,
it's a shame you can't leave the compound because you can't come and lecture at me anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Worf goes into his quarters and pulls out his little homing device that starts beeping because I think Shrek is arriving with the shuttle, and Worf pulls out a little computer didgeridoo from his wall and plays around with it for a bit, but then someone rings his doorbell. It's Tokath. He's visiting his quarters to introduce himself. Worf tells him he has robbed the Klingons of their honor, but he doesn't expect Tokath to understand because he's merely a Romulan. Tokath tells him he stayed there to oversee this place because if he hadn't, the Romulans would have killed all the Klingons. And in doing so, it ended his illustrious military career. So he's not going to have Worf come in here and ruin it for him now. Worf's not buying any of this, though, because he can see sadness in the eyes of the Klingons. But Tokath says he does not see that when he looks into the eyes of his wife. Yes, indeed, the Romulan married one of them. He's not just a jailer. He's protecting his family. Worf's like, that's ick. Doesn't like that at all.
It is kind of ick.
Oh. Yeah.
That level of power, that power dynamic is kind of creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I married my prisoners.
Yeah. Later, Worf uses the component he extracted from the wall to cause a small explosion and uses that as a diversion to make his escape.
And then he immediately stops and talks in the center of the square instead of hiding in the corner.
Well, yeah, he plants it right next to himself. It explodes literally right next to him, which draws
where they're all looking.
All of the Romulans out into the courtyard where he's trying to climb over the wall. And they all see him do it because, it's right there.
Oh, he doesn't wait till 4 a.m. and just wake up and just do it when everyone's asleep with the cover of darkness. No, he waits till everyone's awake in the middle of the day. I'm starting to lose my respect for him as a tactical officer.
I know. Even just going, excuse me a moment, I've just got to go drain the hoses, and then go around the wall, and then, run through it. Not come back. That would have been better than what he ended up doing. But anyway.
Yeah.
He's trying to head to Shrek's ship, and he sees Shrek there waiting with his ship, but he's stopped by the young Klingon and a couple of Romulans, and Shrek does a runner. And that is the end of Act 1, and our next question time.
So, what weapon is being used as a hoe? A. A duktak. B. Corlett. G. Gintak. D. Kutluk. E. If it's data, me. And the bonus question is... Worf mentions to Drell of traveling to the homeworld. But what is the homeworld called? So they keep referring to the Klingon homeworld, never refer to it by name.
Yeah, I thought it was strange.
Well,
I should know it what it's called by now. It's after Star Trek 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll accept.
Apologies for spelling.
No, you're all right.
I don't know how to spell it. I'm guessing.
Well, arguably, any spelling using the Greek letters would
non-Klingon.
Non-Klingon. It's just an approximation. It's like
I think
translate a Russian name to English.
Maz is possibly the
different
closest, but that's supposed to be Kronos, not Quonos. Anyway,
I don't know because in the Klingon it is with a Q, I think. But I've always thought of it as a K.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right.
Well,
how about Kronos is spelled?
Yeah, well, it's generally
Wookiee's sending geezers around to rough me up.
It's generally Q apostrophe O-N-O-S, Kronos. But they generally pronounce it Kronos. Nobody's ever explained why. Different dialects of Klingon, I guess. Who knows?
I thought about sending people to rough me up, but if you want to send subscribers around to the YouTube channel, works, knock yourself out. We need more the merrier. We need the help. Yeah, send as many people as you can in our direction. That'd be great. Yeah. Should we have answers then?
Yeah, I guess everyone came in quickly. Well, Tavi got it right twice because she's like C, but really E. Because yes, it's data me. Yeah, so she wants to do the hoe. I say go ahead. But outside of that, it's a gin talk. A dick tag, you know what that is?
It's a knife.
Yeah, it's a knife with the two little spurs that come out. The corlet is the... It's only just looked it up and it's gone out of my head.
It's like a mini bat'leth thing, isn't it?
No, it's the mechlet. It's the longer mechlet that he has in Picard with the phaser in the arm.
Yeah.
Has that's it. And what was the cut look again? Jesus, I only just looked this up and it's already gone in my head. Yeah, that's kind of it's a Klingon dagger, basically. I think that's the ceremonial death dagger.
Indeed.
But they were all real weapons. And and as I said, Kronos, anywhere in there, regardless of spelling, is all fine.
Yeah. So I think we got a lot of people for the wheel this time. I know we got Ruth and Maz and me and Tabby. Oh, there's Tabby needs to go on there. And I think Stu Plum's on there.
Stu Plum.
So I think it's like a full house. A full house with the... Are you sneezing there, Maz?
The wipes. Yeah, I had a scuba lesson yesterday, and I don't know whether it was the pressure or sinuses or whatever, but I've woken up really like nasal and sneezy today for some reason. I've had about 5-6 sneezing fits today. And I'm a bit sniffy, but never mind.
Right.
Yeah, I have this thing for COVID called Vicks First Defense. I don't know if you can see that. And it's supposed to just kill all the stuff in your nose, and it's fantastic. It's really taking the edge off. Sorry, take the spin, please.
I'm spinning the wheel.
Speaking of which. But it's supposed to kill all the bacteria in your nose and take the edge off.
It's
Stu Plum
again. Well done, Stu
Daddy Stu.
Daddy Stu. Right. Act 2. So, we're back on the Enterprise. Hardly been here today, but we're back on the Enterprise. They have noticed, finally, that Worf's not there. It's like, has anybody seen Worf? Where's he gone?
There's a bit too much data in that photo. Can you move off, please?
There's normally a big guy in yellow stood at the arch thing. Where's he gone? Oh, he's not here. So they realise that Worf's gone missing, and he's not at the rendezvous where he's supposed to be with the Iridian trader. He's now 12 hours overdue. So they contact Deep Space Nine and find out if they got any information about the trader. And that is it. That's your Enterprise action for a bit. Back in the prison, Togath implants a tracking device under Worf's skin and tells him that in time he will get used to it here. LaCour instructs the young Tok to guard him and make sure he doesn't cause any further trouble. Later, Worf is restless and starts practicing Mukbara in the courtyard. He explains to them that the form clears the mind and centers the body, and the other Klingons start to join in. Tok goes to stop him, but Worf demonstrates how these moves are the basis for all of Klingon combat and plants him into the ground. He tells them they would be wise to learn them. But Tok leaves to tell Telltale on Worf with LaCour. I'm going to tell on you. Says, not quite like that, but... So Baal wants to take Worf back to her dwelling to show him something special.
You can ring my bell.
Yeah.
Ring my bell. My bell. Ring my bell.
She first has to check that her mother's not home.
Oh my.
Hey.
And she isn't. So they enter.
She opens up the box of toys.
Yeah. She enters, they open up the box of special things, but it only contains a bunch of Klingon stuff, including a uniform, a duck-tack knife, and a Jinak necklace. Worf explains, she thinks it looks pretty, but Worf explains that the necklace is given to the daughter when she has come of age to take a mate. But Al's like, oh really? How timely.
It's like a clad ring or something.
Yeah. How opportune. But then, unfortunately, for the two of them, her mum enters, and she's not happy to see Worf there, and tells him to get out. It's happened to us all, Worf. It's happened to us all. That night, Worf is telling the ancient story of Kahless, the unforgettable. At least he's trying to, but he forgot him. Yeah. When it got to the bit where Kahless tears fills the oceans and floods the shores, Tok's like, it's ridiculous. That's not even remotely realistic.
Like it's called a tale.
Yeah.
I do love Celtic folklore goes into a similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about this in the first episode. We just appreciate the architecture. They went from all those weird colors of pastels. Like, they kept all the Romulan shapes, the kind of weird, blocky, kind of grill stuff, and the patterns, but they just got away from those weird Saved by the Bell colors, and it works so much better. You can see everything in the place is Romulan, but without it being, too
garish,
gimmicky, too 90s. Yeah, garish. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So, although that fire pit does look a little bit Klingon. But...
Well, they're Klingons. They've got to have some Klingoniness.
I suppose every culture has a fire pit because fire is the first invention, really, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if you're living in the middle of a jungle, you could have a fire.
I don't know if you can invent fire, but
yeah. When Tux says that these stories are ridiculous, Worf tells him, but they are their stories. What are you going to do? It's our historical stories, It's what they are.
Yeah, well, they don't have to be true. I mean, they just have
parables and all that, like the Bible.
Learn a lesson from them, one way or the other.
Yeah. So later, Baal goes to him after the stories and asks him if the stories are indeed true, and Worf cryptically responds that he finds new truth in them with every reading. She asks him if Kalis ever took a mate and wants to know more about that. And Worf's like, oh, I can show you more about that. And he goes in for a light mauling, or at least whatever Klingons, call kissing. I don't know whether they kiss or the Klingon
they bite
thing.
They bite on the cheek, on the jaw a lot of the time.
He goes in for a bit of a chew.
It's like a hickey kind of thing.
Yeah, but he can't help but notice she's got pointy ears, and is instantly disgusted. She's a Romulan, and that is the end of Act 2.
Slivok.
Yeah, and it's question time.
I've never had an official translation, but I always assume Slivok just means slut. But anyway.
Wookie's got a question by the sounds of it. He says, answer me this. What are we answering?
You could throw me some really random Trek trivia and see can I answer it, because I have a lot of
these planets are in outer space and there is no air in space, how come Klingons can have fires?
Have you met Ludacris, Wookie? I'm just... Because you guys can have a great conversation. That is the kind of question Chris would ask, though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, Earth is in outer space, and Earth can have
asking
fire.
it tongue in cheek.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Earth is in outer space, and Earth can have fire, so therefore, yeah, fine. How long overdue is Worf?
Suns are in outer space, and suns have fire. Sorry.
Well, that's nuclear fission as opposed to combustion. But
Shut up,
so
Sean.
how long is Worf overdue before first rolls decide to contact DS9? 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, or 12 hours? And what is the first item Worf mentions when opening the Klingon box? And I do have options. It is, A, Janok, B, Warrior's Armor, C, Duktag, D, oh hell no, give me some lanky ass android already.
What was the first thing he mentions? Does he mention the
first,
armor?
yeah.
Or does he mention...
Oh, he mentions all of those. He especially mentions
but what does he mention first?
Android. With the
I think it's the
whole
armor.
Thing. And Tavi, I apologize for the cultural appropriation.
I'm not sure if I'm just seeing the armor first and he actually mentioned the knife first.
What cultural appropriation? What?
Armor.
Because I was using, black vernacular there, a little bit of black vernacular there.
Wow.
DB. DB. Yeah, DB. Okay. I feel good, because if I'm wrong, at least I'm wrong in style with everyone else.
Deutsche Bahn, huh?
Yeah.
I thought your slang was actually Irish, like lanky-assed.
Oh,
kind of British.
Sorry. It should be lanky ass, not lanky assed. Yes.
Lanky ass.
Yeah. Okay. I got it slightly off. But we don't say hell no.
Hell no.
I was
So,
trying
a
to do...
few little
Anyway.
teeny bits of triv.
Please go ahead.
Minute bits of triv.
Here we go.
Meant to say in the last episode, Jaglong Shrek. Is
Yes.
that how it is? Jaglong?
Jaglom Shrek,
Um,
yeah.
From
Somebody
Henry
once told me.
Jaglom, named after an independent film director, and the old Yiddish word for shriek, which is Shrek. So, named after a person and a Yiddish word.
He wasn't named after
we mentioned
a green troll lives in a swamp.
Apparently not. We already mentioned, I think, that certain things have been cut, like the James Cromwell scenes because of his broken leg and stuff. But also, there were time constraints, and some other scenes got cut, including when Gerald defends to Worf her decision to marry a Romulan. So she would have featured in it a bit more if it weren't for time constraints.
I'm pretty sure that's
I
not
also
James
just want to warn you
Cromwell
that
either.
I've got 18% left on my battery.
Oh, okay.
So if I leave the stream at some point,
that's why.
I'll tot up the points via phone. But yeah, if I get back to my room, I don't have very good signal there, so that's where my charger cable is.
No worries. But I think when we saw Shrek come out of his shuttle and go to greet Worf, I'm pretty sure that's not James Cromwell, and they just
it wouldn't surprise me.
I don't even think that makeup's done very well. They just slap the mask on some random.
You only see him from a distance.
It's standard definition. Nobody would ever notice. We do.
Yeah.
He's also James Cromwell is tall. He's 6 foot.
Yeah.
That guy is like 5'8".
See, you can get. I forgot to give you a good look at the ears. Oh, there we are. There's the pointed ears. Little pointy ears. Yeah.
Sorry, James Cromwell is 2.01 meters. He's 6'7".
Yeah.
He's a professional basketballer tall. That guy is a jockey. There's no way that's him.
No. Right, answers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it was the first thing in the box was the warrior's armor, so B. Oh, sorry. If I looked at the right question, it was D, 12 hours, and it was B, warrior's armor. So DB.
Yes.
Deutsche
Bahn. Is that all of us again?
I guess so.
2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing someone. Are we? No.
It's always funny when you're setting a question. You never know what's going to be hard and what's going to be easy sometimes.
Bruce, Stupum, Monty, Tavi. Yeah, that's everybody.
We're all there, are we?
You think you've set an easy question and then
spin the wheel.
Gets it.
Worky.
Oh
my gosh!
Stu.
Wow. He's just raking in those wheel
That's
points.
4 times.
4 times.
Wow.
All I've got is a couple of Wookiees. That's all I've got this evening. Not that I mind a couple of Wookiees, but it's not quite what I was hoping for. I know, god damn it. Right, so Act 3. Let's get a move on whilst Maz is around. They go to kiss. He notices the pointy ears, and Worf's like, disgusting. Your mum did it with a Romulan or something? That's obscene.
Disgusting. What he just did it.
Yeah.
Followed.
Yeah. Bal declares her father is a good man. He's kind and just. There's nothing dishonourable about him. He challenges her to. Yeah. He challenges her to ask her mother and father about the truth about Kittimer and how they came to be here, and see what they say. Yeah. So Worf is truly upset and disgusted by what he just found. She had little pointy ears. We then go back to the bridge for one of our rare Enterprise moments. And I just had to take this still of my beautiful befringed bridge ensign.
Yeah, she's like a goth alternative girl.
Yeah,
that looks like a wig.
Yeah.
Uniform fits her well.
Yeah. Christy Hayden. We've spotted her in I think it was Rascals last, and she was on the bridge, and I was like, who's that? My God, why haven't we noticed her? And she's been in lots and lots of episodes, but she's only in about another 3. So I'll be pointing her out whenever I see her now.
That's some fierce goth makeup. She's fierce pale there.
I know, she could be Data's like sister or something, couldn't she?
Yeah, particularly since the lad behind him is, I guess, Hispanic or whatever it is. You know,
Yeah.
it enforces. Yeah, it's going for the full vampire there. It doesn't even. Is she even supposed to be human? I don't know.
She is.
The glue, oh my God.
She is indeed human, but yeah, she looks very pale there.
And she's such a skinny malinx of a woman that the com badge looks huge because it looks out of proportion with everything else.
I know. Mine is actually a regular standard com badge, but
yeah.
Com badges on me always look really tiny.
Yeah, looks small. Yeah, same. If I lean back a bit, you can see my one. Because I'm 130 kilos. You're about the same, and she's like 40. She's roughly a third of your or mine weight.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
But anyhow, so yeah. Hello, Christy Hayden. On the bridge. Let's move away from her. We've got the boys. The boys are back in town. They've received
the voice from the dwarf.
They've received a flight plan from Deep Space Nine, so they've decided to head off to the closest pit stop that Shrek has made on his journey. So then we head back to the planet where Worf's gone to see Baal, and he apologizes for being a dick. Well, he tries to apologize anyway. He doesn't blame her for being an ick person, a person spawned from forbidden love. But Baal counters, there's nothing wrong with what she is. She apologizes to him for ever being born and for offending him. So his apology is not really going very well. Worf is fumbling over his words because he's finding it hard to explain that Romulans and Klingons are just hated enemies. That's just the way it is. That's just the way of their life.
Yeah,
when he completely forgets about the common ancestor that everyone has. Just
I've already done the bingo for the Irish, but we get a bit of this here because certain chimpanzees come over and think we are the way we were 200 years ago. And it's like, no. Like, we voted in gay marriage, where we have a gay prime minister, like, who's also Indian. It's like, we're really chill people now. They think that their values will be reflected when they come over here, and they just get an absolute culture shock. So, I can imagine his discomfort, just being all his ideals from being away from society just being broken down by the reality of it.
Baal, can't you just accept me? Baal says, can't you just accept me as I am? We were talking about mating and all that a moment ago. And Worf's like, no, he can't really. He can't seem to get past it. And basically,
her being jailbait was fine, apparently, but that
was fine. That was fine. But having pointy ears is a no-go. Yeah. That's she thinks he's a total pasty head.
I just became legal. Let's go mate. You look like a great guy.
Worf goes outside.
Okay, you're old enough to be my dad. It's fine.
Yeah. Worf goes outside and finds the younglings being stupid again by using spears as sticks in their silly little game. He decides to show them how to really play it and teaches them how to hunt by throwing spears through a rolling hoop. Typically, Tok is shit at it at first, but with Worf teaching him how to use his leading arm as a guide, he gets it. He gets better at it and starts to feel that hint of Klingon hunger with it burning within him. And so Worf wants to take Tok out on a proper hunt in the jungle. But Tok's convinced that the elders will not allow it. Worf's like, leave that to me. Worf meets with Tokaf and Lukor, and Tokaf thinks that the idea's ridiculous, letting Worf out outside the gates. But Worf tells them he gives his oath as a warrior that he will not try to escape. So Lakar says, okay then, fair enough. But Tokath questions Lakar if Lakar is actually serious. You cannot be serious. But Lakar points out that he gave his oath 23 years ago, and has he ever broken it? And Tokath has to admit that he hasn't, so they let them go. And that's the end of Act 3, and it's question time.
It's question time.
Why did Worf say talk but not do 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 boom? Tavi, sorry, you will not get that reference. Why did Worf say Tok could not master spear throwing? A, he lacked Grimba. B, he didn't have the lobes. C, he was too young. D, who cares? Unless he hunting data, ain't nobody got time for that. And yeah, and this is just in here just because we haven't had an update of this episode. What is Brent Spiner's wife's name? A, Lorene McBride. B, June Wheeler. C, Denise Crosby. D, Alice Krieg. So I just give you some extra vitamin D because we haven't had enough.
I did like Wookiee's butthole. What the fuck, Bryce?
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good.
Some trips and stuff. I don't know if this is true, but Tinternet says that Dan Curry was actually the person behind the camera throwing the Jintak spear instead of Michael Dorn.
Oh.
It's possible, yeah.
Possible. Aside from the opening recap, Marina Sirtis is not in this episode. No missing person. And Worf states that Klingons and Romulans have been blood enemies for centuries, but this takes place barely a century after the 1966 Star Trek film where Klingons and Romulans were allies. However, this could be because the Americans tend to use simpler past tense, not the pluralfest tense. I don't know what pluralfest. Pluperfect tense. Have you ever heard of a pluperfect tense?
No.
I think they kind of mean on and off for centuries, as opposed to centuries in a continuous basis. That's probably what they're getting at.
They're saying it should have been had been rather than have been, but I don't know.
But
apparently Picard switches 2 digits in the star date. He says instead of 46759, it was 46579. So yeah. Small error on script as well.
Right.
Pluperfect tense.
I
have to look that one up.
Denoting an action completed prior to some past point of time specified or implied, formed in English by had and the past participle, as in he had gone by then. This is probably that thing where Americans say gotten instead of got. I'm missing a bit of this. But it's probably that kind of difference there.
English is just a mystery to me most of the time, I have to admit.
Yeah. Well, there's a sentence. Hold on. We're had a load of times. Hold on 1 second. James John had a better effect on the teacher is apparently a perfectly grammatically correct sentence. Or you know the way there's a sentence and you can put inflection on different words, and the sentence still makes sense. Hold on.
Anyway, answers.
Anyway, answers.
Yeah, answers. Yeah. His wife is Lorene McBride, or A. Who's June Wheeler, Tavi?
Say again.
Who's June Wheeler, or Wheeler?
Is she married
that's
to
right
Brent
from-
Spiner on another series?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
Night
his wife
Court.
in Night Court. Yeah, that's it. Denise Crosby is obviously Natasha Yar, and Alice Krieg is the Borg Queen. But yeah, that was the reason. And the other one was, of course, D. Who cares unless he hunting data? Ain't nobody got time for that. It was C. He was too young. So it was C and then A.
Yes.
So for the A's, we got Tavi, Ruth, and Monty.
Oh no.
Who? Give
Oh,
me
no.
some. Okay.
No. You don't want Wookiee. You're in it.
I love destruction.
You're just a chaos of an agent of chaos. All right, I'm spinning the wheel.
Lore is my favorite character. There's obviously something wrong with me to that effect. Oh.
Oh, you can take it, Tavi. You can take it. Tavi! Okay, we're on to Act 4. Second to last. Second to last act. We're nearly there. Okay, so out in the jungle, the two Klingons are hunting their prey, with Worf teaching the young Klingon how to track using scent. Initially, Tok couldn't smell the scent, but once he notices it, it gets his blood racing. He's starting to feel all Klingon-y.
Well, in there.
Yeah. Worf tells him that this is where life and death meet. This is what makes us warriors. Tok tells him he's never been taught any of this, and he's very excited by it. At this evening's dinner, it's all very civilized and very Romulan. Just your average room of Klingons eating fruit with cutlery. It's hilarious. It did.
Yeah, like the space around mountains. Hilarious.
It did. Yeah. Yeah. Did make me laugh though. Just seeing all these Klingons sat around like eating fruit with cutlery.
Waiting for a pumpkin.
Yeah, waiting for their pumpkin to be delivered. It's like, Jesus Christ. What are these Romulans done to them? Togarth is smug because Worf and Tok have yet to return. So I think he's just won a bet. But his smugness is cut short when his daughter asks him if she could visit the Klingon homeworld, or maybe Romulus. Well, can she? Can she go? That causes Togarth some alarm.
But the Klingon homeworld, so long as you fix your ears.
Can we just flick back a shot for just 1 second?
You know?
I think it's called just on the Romulan there. I think it's called a gorget, kind of the neck piece there, and you can see the obviously your man the Klingon has it, and then if you flick forward again, obviously his daughter has it. So I think it's him taking an affectation from the Klingons and including it in his own costume, and yeah, I just like that little bit of attention to detail from the costume department that they showed that he's assimilated somewhat, that he's made a what's the word, a concession. It's a subtle detail. I just like it. It's nice when I notice it.
Yeah. You don't see the other Klingon, the other Romulans wearing that. Just him.
Yeah, well,
because it's a Klingon
it's
thing.
some kind of family thing that they've done. So that's his daughter wearing. As I said, I think it's called a gorget. But yeah, she's wearing one too.
So, Togarth's alarm is cut short when Tok enters the dining hall with a dead carcass of something they've just killed, and he slaps it on the table in front of Togarth. And he declares to the room, they will eat well tonight. I don't know what that thing is, but it looks pretty gross.
I think it looks like a deer or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yes, Togarth's alarm turns to horror and exclaims to get that out of his sight. Tok admits that he will. He will eat it as soon as it is cooked. Tok goes on to share with the group everything he has learned about being Klingon from Worf whilst out hunting, He discovered that warrior's blood runs through his veins. And he goes on to sing the victory chant that they'd been brought up as being taught as a lullaby. As he sings it, though, all the other Klingons all join in singing it, and Togarth realizes he's losing control of his Klingons, including his daughter. Because, although I haven't got the picture, it does show her singing it. I can't find it, but yes, she's singing it as well. And that's the end of Act 4, and another question time.
That'll do us. Sorry, just copying and pasting. What is the name of the boy who killed the deer? A. Telok, B. Tekar, C. Tekuvma, or D. Tok?
Tekuvma. It's sad that I know that's Discovery. That's sad.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, it's definitely not that one. And yeah, that's the albino fake thing.
The albino,
Discovery.
Weird thing.
Yeah, that's the one. And the bonus question: what is the unusual for a Klingon thing that the boy says that he will do with the deer before eating it?
Yeah, I thought that was unusual.
And Ruth has answered before he even finished the question because I posted in the chat.
Yeah. But no,
okay.
It's kind of weird because they would just grab that stuff. I mean, you take Gak, for example, it's still squirming around in the bowl, isn't it?
Like the cat. It's like, ah! Get straight into it.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll convince Tabby to watch Red Dwarf and she'll just understand half
failing miserably. Failing miserably.
She'll feel she'll have seen it before she even watches it.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling now. It's like, oh, that's a Red Dwarf reference. I know what that is.
As Terry Farrell was nearly the American version of the cat.
So
Alex says night. Not hi, Alex.
And do you remember the Buffy musical episode Once More of Feeling? Do you remember the baddie in that? He was the first cat from the first pilot. His name was Battle or something, and then that didn't take off, and they tried to make Terry Farrell the second pilot, the second cat. Sorry, please continue.
I like the bunny song.
Oh yeah, I know the one. Yeah, she's terrified of bunnies. She's
like, terrified of bunnies.
Ears and little teeth.
Yeah, and thingy little noses.
Just a rabbit.
Bunnies.
He's just a rabbit. I need the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Anyway, Alan Scarf,
yes,
who plays the Romulan Tokath for both of these episodes, previously played Admiral Mendak in Data's Day.
Ah.
Oh.
Here we go.
And not that we really care about this, but the Bael's costume was one of the things that was sold off in an online auction. It's a wrap. And this episode came under some criticism from fans because they thought Worf came off as a fascist, racist for trying to ruin a place where Klingons and Romulans live in peace, which is a fairly good point.
I get the racist bit, because he definitely does, when he sees her pointed ears, he's just like completely icked out. But I don't know, because at the end of the day, peace under threat of imprisonment and violence is not really peace, is it? When you're brainwashed into being a hapless prisoner, it's not really the same thing as peace.
Yeah, if you're a prisoner, you're a prisoner. It doesn't matter how limited those, if you say they say, I don't know, you can live in the United States, but you're not allowed to leave. You're still a prisoner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Peace comes at the cost of completely wiping out their cultural identity.
It's like any restrictions on your freedom of movement or freedom of being you're still a prisoner, even if it's relatively mild, and you can kind of pretend you're not for 80% of the day. Obviously, to the extreme of American solitary, they put you 23 hours a day in a cell, and then they let you walk around the yard with a chain on your back. Yeah, that's obviously the other extreme. But it doesn't matter if you don't have free will, you don't have free will. So yeah, it's just it's bad all around either way.
So, answers to the question.
Yeah. Sorry, we got philosophical there.
We did. That was deep.
Yes.
That was deep.
So it was D talk. Am I covered in D's? I went rambling.
It was D talk.
Yeah, and
D's.
Yeah, it was cook it because naturally enough, Klingons don't tend to cook their food or tend to complain about over.
No, they don't.
They like live food or warm from death food. So a little bit of a writing faux pas there, or maybe it's just because he grew up in a community where they all didn't eat raw food. I guess so. It's unusual either way.
I think that's everyone. So I've whacked everybody on the board. I'll just take this opportunity as I'm spinning this wheel. Don't forget to like the stream. If you're watching it and enjoying it, please remember to click the like button. Much appreciated. Oh, Wookie, no. Oh my God, it's Tavi again. Tavi.
It's not even a data episode.
Running away with it. Running away.
Maybe they're trying to make up for it.
Maybe that's it.
The lack of the D, man.
The lack of the D.
I am getting critical battery errors now, so yeah.
Right.
Won't be long, I'm afraid.
Won't be long. Right, Act 5. We're getting into it. Togath meets with Worf and laments that there is nowhere in the galaxy where Romulans and Klingons exist in peace like this. But Worf argues that while Togath may be content to wither away in old age in this jungle, Doc and the other young Klingons have just tasted what it's really like to be a Klingon, to feel alive, and he must not deprive them of their life. Togath's like, well, in that case, as you say that, I'm going to have to just put you to death instead. Which wasn't quite a message we thought he was taking away, but that's what he got. Worf's like, fine, then I shall die as a warrior, as a martyr, and all those young Klingons will see what that really means.
Even the old thing.
Immediately discouraged for following.
Well, they all kind of they didn't deliberately cower out of being killed rather than being imprisoned, but they now have an opportunity to say, he's rather be killed than be imprisoned. This is our standards. This is the morals we left behind. Yeah, I like that. The writer really did a good job of bringing that whole full circle.
Yeah. Bael goes to see Worf and offers to remove the tracking device and help him escape because she doesn't want to see him put to a firing squad. But Worf will not run, for he is Klingon, and he does not run from his battles. Bael doesn't get this at all. She's like, I do not understand you. He would have thought it wasn't possible for him to love a Romulan, but he does. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? I thought that escalated quickly. He is in love with her.
Yeah, love was a bit strong now.
Yeah, Jesus, just met. She's learned through his reaction to her that she would not be welcome on the outside from either the Klingons or the Romulans. So she would still be an outcast with nowhere to go. So she doesn't want to leave. Worf points out that the Klingons here would equally not accept him for who he was, so he cannot stay. They kiss and they say their goodbyes. They actually kiss like humans. They're just like, kissy kissy. Very Klingon of them.
I've pointed this out before. They're leaning to the left. They're leaning to the left, and that's people lean to the right. So that's they've obviously just done that for the camera.
Yeah.
I know it's a silly thing to notice, but also, if she just had her ears reshaped, which is a relatively minor thing to do, then nobody would know any better.
All you got to do is get plastic surgery to fit in with the society norms. That's not a good message
turned
either,
Cisco,
not in the 24th
Cisco,
century.
Brian, and Odo into Klingons, no problem in about 20 minutes. So it's not a problem. They can just do that.
I thought it was strange. 20 years would make them immediately jump the Romulan. She'd be like, "Nah, Vulcan, half Vulcan, man."
Half Vulcan, yeah.
Would it have been okay suddenly?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Pon farr thing on the dessert island. It's fine.
And Worf says they wouldn't accept him here. I think they would. I think the Vulcans are quite happy with him being there if he wanted to stay. I don't think they'd have any problems with him being there. But, we've lost Maz. She's died.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more that he's a disruption. You know, he's teaching them how to hunt and how to fight and all those Klingon traditional values, and that's the disruption. It's his thoughts that are the problem.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a classic thing like the Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria, every ship that came into port, any books they had, they made copies of them, hand them back the originals, and they had the best library in the world 800 or 900 years ago, whenever it was. What's the first thing that happened when they were conquered? They burn down the library. You know, the conquerors want to suppress knowledge. They want to rule, and they don't want other ideas. That's just the way it goes.
Question from Wookie Sean: would you rather have a monobrow that runs from ear to ear, or really hairy lips?
Probably the monobrow. It's easier to shave. I do have a small bit of a monobrow, but it's just a couple of hairs, which is kind of funny considering I can't grow a beard, but I still kind of grow a monobrow. Who knows?
I'm with you on the monobrow. That would be weird having hairy lips. You want?
Yeah, I just give it a little squish with the old razor. And it goes away.
You'd be fine. You'd be fine. Bit of manscaping. It's all good.
But it's the guys that let it grow in, and you know, I just like lads. Yeah,
I've got to that age in my life where I have to like trim my eyebrows now with my beard trimmer, you know, just because the white hairs in them are like getting long and wispy, and I end up like with these long old man hairs. And so I've actually started to trim my eyebrow hairs. That's how old I'm getting, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't mind that. I feel silver hairs is fine for me. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Gideon also has that his are getting long, and those are the ones I call them wizard eyebrows, though.
Yeah, get those crazy wizard eyebrows going. I'm like, no, I'm not having that. Nope. So anyway,
but I still can't grow a beard. I don't have one hair on my chest. It's the way it goes.
I'm calling Worf out on this. I think he's just making excuses because he doesn't want to stay here. He doesn't want to stay. He wants to get back to the Enterprise and carry on his adventures. He doesn't want to stay on this planet. So the next day, Worf faces. Oh no, that's wrong. That's just the wrong place.
Although I will respect the fact he doesn't make any attempt to take it further. It's just a kiss. It's a passionate kiss.
That's
but he
it.
doesn't.
That's
you know, he's being respectful. He's being consentful. He's not looking to get his rocks off. He's just like in another life, and he moves on. So I think it's a nice lesson.
Yeah. Okay, so the next day, Worf faces his firing squad. Togath gives a speech where he admits to wondering if he's doing the right thing. He's like, I've agonized over it all night. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. But after great consideration, he's convinced he is. He's going to shoot Worf square in the head. He's quite happy with it. He asks Worf if he has any last words, and Worf does. Worf tells them that today he's being executed because he has brought knowledge to their young people. Knowledge of their origins, knowledge of where what they really are, what it is to be Klingon. And their oldies don't like it. They're about to fire when Tok comes forward in full Klingon uniform and stands with Worf. If they're going to shoot Worf, they're going to have to shoot him as well. Worf tells Togath that he has already lost, and he doesn't know it. Then one by one, all the other Klingons join in, so Togath pulls out his disruptor. Fine, he'll shoot them all. But then even his daughter joins their ranks. And if you're going to shoot them, you're going to have to shoot me too. And with the daughter joining in, Togath's wife puts an end to it. She's like, right, that's enough for this nonsense. Put your weapons down.
Yeah, you cannot destroy an idea.
No.
Don't you understand that it's ancient knowledge? It's real.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. She tells him that this is their prison.
Abby's like, what?
Yeah.
Not like what? I think, mm-hmm.
What am I referencing?
What is he referencing?
Far Beyond the Stars. When you get to it, it's a fucking kicker. You'll love it.
Deep Space Nine.
Sorry, please go on.
So, yeah, the mum puts an end to it. She tells Togarth that this is their prison, the old people's prison, not their children's prison, and they should be allowed to go if they so wish. So Togarth lowers his weapon. Worf tells the group that years ago, their parents sacrificed their freedom for the good of their families. Now they are doing it again. So to honor the sacrifice your parents are making, never speak of this place to anyone. Hold on to their secret. And everyone agrees that they will do so. They say their goodbyes, and then on the Enterprise is contacted, surprisingly, by Worf, who directs them to meet with the Romulan warbird, and Worf and the young Klingons beam aboard. Picard welcomes Worf home in the transporter room, and Beverly checks the Klingons out in sickbay. Worf tells the captain that no one survived Khitomer. Those young people were survivors of a crash ship in the Korea system, and Picard's like, okay, Worf, I understand. And that is the end of the episode.
Lovely.
Cheers. Round of applause. We made it.
How do we do? Yeah, a little over 2.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Question time.
So, question 5. How many lines of dialogue
The
dialogue
rum is getting to
does
him,
Data
ladies and
have
gentlemen.
in this episode? A, none. B, 1. C, 2. D, 3. And the bonus question, who are the two people to greet Worf in the transporter room? And this was the 42nd act, so that's the best I can do.
How many lines of dialogue did he have?
No idea.
I mean, they were stood with him on the bridge earlier. What was the options?
I always guess it. I don't know the answer. But I have to check out bingo scores.
Should I go B or C? I'm going to
No,
go...
B. I've already done C.
I'm going to go B, because you've done C. So, I'm going to do B, and... and that. There we go. Mazma Bob's still there in the background on her phone, back in her room. Yes. Hello, Maz.
Garden, no fucking idea. Or sorry, no freaking idea.
Freak.
It's not get us banned.
Yep.
Tavi, have you never seen Far Beyond the Stars?
Can you describe it? Because the name sounds familiar, but I'm not so sure.
Ben Sisko gets transported by the prophets in a vision back to 1950s or 60s America and experiences a lot of racism.
I've seen clips from it, but I haven't seen that episode.
Oh, it's possibly it's definitely my top 2 episodes of all of Trek, and we're coming up on 900 episodes. It's so good.
Okay. Really.
Although I do have a friend of color who says she can't watch it because it's too difficult, it's too emotional, it's too close to the bone.
Say again?
I do have a friend who's a person of color who is not who can't watch it because it's too difficult.
Can be understandable. I don't know what the content is.
Yeah, well, you need to see it to understand.
If it sounds familiar, maybe you're thinking of Battle Beyond the Stars, which was a 1980s film with John Boy from the Waltons in it, which was like Star Wars, about a farm boy who goes and battles the evil empire. It's got Hannibal from the A-Team in it as well.
Well, funnily enough, my top 2 episodes of all of Star Trek are both from Deep Space Nine. Where did my hat go? But it's either that one or In the Pale Moonlight. Those are my 2 favorite episodes. All of Trek, not just Deep Space Nine. They're just both so good. I'll put my DS9 hat back on.
Deep Space Nine is the best Star Trek, I think. It's the best.
I think so.
It's the best characters. It's the best written. It's the best sets. It's the best that Star Trek has to offer, I think. Deep Space Nine.
I think so.
Although TNG is always my favorite because it's my, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's my happy
it's
place.
Your entry.
Yeah, TNG is my happy place, but Deep Space Nine is, I think. If TNG is my soul, then Deep Space Nine is my heart, maybe.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
The DS9 I've been watching, like random episodes.
Yes, Wookie. It was the space version of the Magnificent Seven. Yes, it was. Yes. And I think it was something like James Cameron's first film as well, Battle Beyond the Stars. I used to like it. The main ship in it, like the hero ship, I can't remember what it was called, but it had breasts.
Did you see the Babylon 5 animated film
We got a
they
picture.
put out there the other week?
No.
The Babylon, they put out a new Babylon 5, extended continuity in animated form there about a month ago. You haven't seen it, no? All right.
I'm trying to find
I've not watched Babylon 5 properly, but I know it's coming out in Blu-ray in like a month and a half or so. So I'm just gonna
well,
wait.
we're kind of watching the Blu-ray versions on Amazon Prime at the moment. So yeah, I don't know if you can make that out there, but the hero ship in Battle Beyond the Stars has like breasts.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Nice.
female. It's a female ship. Anyway, there you go.
How else is it going to feed the little shuttlecrafts?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Silicon Heaven? No Silicon Heaven. Where'd the little calculators go?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Right, should we have answers to the questions then?
Yeah, we can. Data had no lines of dialogue in this episode.
Did he not? Not one?
Not one. He was there.
And then I remember just staring.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he was in one scene for about 25 seconds, and we didn't get any data dong. We got no data lines. We got nothing. I called shenanigans. And the 2 people are Beverly and Picard.
Yeah, the scene is just literally Riker and Picard talking to each other, and then
Well,
Picard
there was
orders
a random
Data
transporter
to do
chief
something,
there.
but he didn't actually say anything. God damn it.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, Beverly scanned Worf and is like, "Oh, you're fine," and then Talk came along and was like, "Ah, fuck you. You can go to engineering. We don't care about you. Move on."
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. Can you imagine? He's in trouble at the same time. I didn't get the impression he'd asked permission to go on this excursion.
No, we didn't. At least we didn't see it. But so, who's on the board then? Anyone? Was it Picard and Beverly? The answers.
Sorry.
John,
Sorry, I lost an earphone there.
are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I lost an earphone. I was reaching down to get it. Who do we have? Picard and Beverly. That's Monty. Ruth. Stu just said B and blank.
Yeah, no Stu Plum then.
So, Yeah, so it's
No tummy?
it's yourself, Ruth, and I guess Wookie.
Oh no.
Is there anyone else?
Nobody else?
No, I'm sorry.
I got Picard and Crusher.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Oh, Tavi.
did you? Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. Oh, you did. Sorry, I
But no
scrolled down.
Maz. Yeah, well, here we go then. That's going to be fun, isn't it? Here we are. I'm spinning a wheel.
Look.
Oh my god! I've got points! Maz,
Wow,
there.
he won his own show.
I got some
Six.
finally.
6.
I was excited. You can tell. I was excited by that. There we go. Okay, so start thinking about what you would give Birthright Part 2 out of 10, from 0 to 10. What would you score it? And I will bring the sheet up, and I'm sure that Mazam Bob's about to deliver me some scores in live chat, I guess. But just whilst we're waiting for Maz to put the scores in live chat, you've got a ridge on your head. Yes.
I just love. Tweet. I love the line from wearing that for about 40. But
Don't make yourself cough. You got COVID.
Oh, I'm done. Oh, that wasn't worth it. Sorry.
Yes. So I thought myself that I think that the first episode is the stronger episode of the two, because I like seeing Bashir. I like the additional storyline with Data. I think that's probably a slightly more interesting story, the two together. And I liked seeing Deep Space Nine and the promenade, and I thought it made the story and the episode look really rich, rather than it just being like a, fake jungle set type thing or whatever. But I did prefer the first one to the second one. But overall, I actually enjoyed Birthright Part 1 and 2 more than I remember enjoying it in the past. It's not one of my I think that's why I don't really remember it too well. It's not one of my go-to two-parters that I like to watch in TNG. It's not like a best of both worlds or a chain of command or something like that. It's a bit of an outlier, I would guess. I got the spin, Maz. Yes, I got the spin. So we just need you to add that onto the scores and let us know in the live chat, what that does for us. And whilst I'm just waffling, whilst we get those scores in. Well, Mazam McBob's giving it a 7. So we've got that information there. How about Birthright Part 2?
Tavi, do you know what the next two-parter is?
I do. Oh my god.
She's
I
there
did
for
like
it.
this one. This was one of the Data episodes that I did not get to see growing up. So when I watched it as an adult, it was an absolute surprise and treat.
Ah. So, Stuplum was first with 10 points. Nice one, Stuplum. That puts you on 128. Now we just got to wait and see who's second. Mazza, have a great rest of your day, Stuplum, says. I guess Stuplum is probably about to leave for the evening, as it is nearly 11 o'clock. It's a bit like waiting for Eurovision to come in from around the world, isn't it? We're waiting for Jamaica to give us their scores.
Well, when I was a child, we won it every year, and then we just stopped when I was 11. So between, I suppose, when the age of 6 to 11, we won it 4 times out of 5 years.
You did,
and then not again for like 30 years afterwards. So I was a child, it just felt like we won it every year. It was great. No, we're done now.
Those times are long gone. So I came second with 9 points. Bit of a surprise to me, that one. Mazza is third with 8 points. Ruth has 7 points. Tavi has 6 points. The Beard has 5 points. I think he must have got a bingo entry.
Hey, he must have.
Yeah, must have got one. So yeah, that's 5 points for the Beard. That puts him on 28 points. And all the other positions are as they were, but it does mean that there's only 1 point now between the lovely Ruth and the lovely Tavikins.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and I'm 8 points behind Ruth, and Maz is only 2 points behind me, and Stuplum's only 2 points behind her. So the top 5 are really close. Really close.
Yeah, it's all to play for.
Yeah. So it's all 7s as far as scoring goes at the moment. So have you got your paddles ready, peoples? Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. TNG scores are go. Bing. 7.
Yeah, we're all on the money.
All on the money. So with Maz already giving us a 7, that means we have given it a 7 across the board, and that's pretty rare, I think.
Yeah, we all agreed.
We all agreed. I think it's the first time this season we've all agreed on a number. I'm not sure if that's happened before.
Well, 7s are lucky. Yeah, again, not a great episode, not a terrible episode. It was fine.
Ethics. But let's admit, last time ethics in season 5, we gave all 7s to.
So we did.
There you go. It has happened before, but it's a rare sight to behold. Which puts, of course, Birthright at an average of 7. Which makes it actually pretty middling for this this season. There are a lot of episodes above it, but there are equally a lot of episodes below it. It's pretty mid. But I think that's about right, really. I think that's about right. Sorry for all people that like Klingon episodes out there, and Worf thinks it should be higher than that, but
I can take them or leave them.
Yeah, I know. G-Star's not a big Klingon story arc fan. He doesn't particularly like Klingon stories.
I'm just they're okay.
I like them.
And next week we
have the Android arcs. So
yeah,
shocker! Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
what exactly do you mean by an arc?
Yeah. And my second favorite race is Ferengi.
Huh. Well, but they get really expanded in Deep Space Nine. There are a lot of episodes, dedicated to Ferengi lore in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, the Magnificent Ferengi, Bar Association, Little Green Men. Oh yeah, there's a couple of really special episodes.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna like that when we get to it. We'll get there. I think we'll be starting Deep Space Nine probably around, I think, towards Easter of next year. I think.
Yeah, I was thinking around that.
Time.
Yeah, we have about 30 weeks to go, pending breaks.
Yeah,
and next week we have Starship Mine.
One of my absolute personal favorites.
Yeah, and Tim Russ is in it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. But also Calvin Hutchinson is in it with his kind of schmoozy talk about being in rooms and temperatures, and then Data like copies his style, gets his schmooze down. Like Yeah, Data is the most Data has ever been in this episode. It's a real good Data episode.
Data's very data-y.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Picard is very John McClane-y.
A little bit.
Yeah, he gets his John McClane on. He doesn't quite go from a white T-shirt to a brown T-shirt.
Yeah.
But
every experienced writer gets his own saddle.
yes, exactly. And yeah, him and his saddle. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do wonders. But anyway, we'll get to talk all about that next week. Thank you once again. Sorry, Tabby, what was that? Didn't hear that.
I have no epilogue. Wookie wanted to know if I had any thoughts on this one. I'm not a big Klingon episode fan, so I don't have much to say. And
Data had no lines here.
No, he didn't keep the photo on Data long enough, so I was just taking that as basically he wanted me to fuck off. That was what I got from Monty. So I just decided.
Hang on. There's one photo in this whole thing. Hang on a minute. I'll find it. It's here somewhere.
No, there's no backpedaling now. I got the hint.
I've lost it. I can't find it.
Did.
Oh no. Oh no, that one in it. Oh no, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
No love.
There's no data in this. I found it a minute ago. Don't know what I've done with it. I'll find it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's very strange. Every time I think of Klingons and Worf, I feel like Worf is somebody who's got like these ideas in his head, and he likes to talk about it, but he's never lived it. So
yeah,
it's just like someone who's trained. It's like if I was just like thinking about the glory days of the military and what the military does in battle, and I'm just like all gung ho about it, and I'm like, I've never been on the front line, so shut the fuck up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I get that from Worf. It's like, ugh.
He does that with Jadzia in Deep Space Nine as well. He tries to tell her how their relationship should go in being Klingon and whatnot, and she's like, "But you're the most un-Klingon-y Klingon I've ever met."
I mean, it works for him and it works against him. He's really a stickler to the rules and the proper rules of honor, not the twisted political versions. But also he doesn't know how to compromise or how to, just go with the flow at the same time. So sometimes it works for him.
Definitely not a go with the flow guy, is he?
Yeah. He follows the strict rules of Klingon culture, which obviously ends up being Chancellor for about 5 seconds before he gives it away.
There you go. Look, there he is. See what I do for you,
Oh, look at those frown lines.
I know, and look at that.
Chin.
Oh no, that's not that. No, back the other way. There we go. Yeah, I checked through this. You're right. He doesn't say a thing. He just looks at his console.
Maybe there was a line that was cut. I don't know, but he
didn't have one. He didn't have one.
And I've not checked, but I would willing to wager a guess that that's probably the only episode he didn't have a line.
It's got to be. It's a rare time Data doesn't have a line, isn't it?
Definitely no more than 3, 4, or 5.
I mean, Geordie's quite often not in it, or Troy, or Beverly, or whatever. But no lines from Data. That is rare. That is a rare thing. There we go. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to Mazza Bob for coming on from Risa this evening in the middle of her lovely holiday, and thank you to Ludacris for letting Maz have the time, or putting his holiday on hold whilst she does this. So thank you to the two of them, much appreciated, and we hope you have a beautiful rest of your holiday. And we'll see you back. I don't think they'll be back next week, actually, will they? I think it'll be the week after. I think you might be travelling back around this time next week. But yeah.
Well, we'll be here for Starship Mine in some configuration, but they're
in some configuration. A reminder for everyone to join us on Friday for the Monty Zone. No G-Star this evening. He said he'd come on and say hello to us, but no, we haven't seen him. But yeah, Wookie Monty Zone on Friday if you kind of come along. We got some guests from another YouTube channel. I can't remember the names of them. I was trying to look it up a minute ago, but hang on, see if I can just find out.
Mazza saying back this Friday, Saturday, so I guess that's the time zone thing. So yeah, she'll be home for next week.
Oh, you'll be home for next week, will you? Oh, great, that's good. Yes.
And Wookie's asking, what's the topic again?
The topic for the Monty Zone is the spooky and the strange, and we've got. In fact, look, I'll just play the trailer because it's ours, and I can do that. Here's our trailer for this week. I will just change the way I'm presenting this because so you guys can hear as well. I don't know what I'm doing at the moment.
I'm laughing at my own self. I keep getting red and splotches. My fever keeps getting worse as the last 2 hours have gone.
Well, that's not good, is it?
No. I'm going to bed very soon.
Yeah, we'll be there in a moment. Here we go.
Panic.
Here we go. Chrome tab. There we go. This is the trailer. This is for the Monty Zone.
Oh, yes. This coming Friday, the 29th of September, Monty and myself, G-Star, we're live again. And this month on the Monty Zone, it's all about the spooky and the strange, with behind-the-scenes footage to share with you from some recent investigations that we've been doing together. And we've got special guests on the show, Ryan and Steve from the Unexplained Files UK will be joining us and answering all of your questions about their channel, their investigations, and lots more. So if you're brave enough and you dare, hit that notification bell and subscribe and make sure you don't miss the show. This Friday, 29th of September at 8 p.m. GMT.
There we go. So 29th of September, this Friday.
I love it.
Sorry?
Really nice intro. I just love listening to G-Star.
Yes. Yeah, he's got a flair for this sort of stuff. Yeah, well, you know, the supernatural, a lot of people are believers of it, so yeah, you might find it ludicrous, but it's not for everyone, but there are people out there that believe in that sort of thing. So we're going to be well, yeah, if you're going to be rude, then I suggest not. Then maybe give that one a miss then, Wookie. Yeah, but for those people that want to come along and talk to those guys, we're going to be finding out all about their channel and talking about their backstory and how they got into it and all that sort of thing. So yeah, as well as the normal UFO news and things like that, and some visual games that G-Star's put together for it. So yeah, the normal games and shenanigans. That's for the Monty Zone on Friday. So yes, thank you to Tavykins and Sean for coming along this evening for this double episode marathon. And thank you to everyone in live chat for coming along. Wookie and Ruth and Stuplum and Smiler Rainbow and Andrew, who again this is not his thing, but thanks for leaving a comment and giving us a view anyway. Thank you for coming along. And yes, thank you to anyone else that came over to the beard, to Mr. Tavykins, and yeah, anybody else that watches this after the live has gone out. Thank you for watching, and yeah, we will see you next week for, what was the episode again, Sean? Starship Mine.
Starship Mine.
Starship Mine. Yes.
Starring Tim Russ.
Yes. We'll see you then.
Almost Tuvok.
Yes. Next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Cheers.